guys, I got it. Let's move on.
I
got something. I'll lead right into it. I'm going to intro and I'm going to lead into it.
Okay.
Ready?
All right.
Ready? 5, 4.
You gonna count yourself down?
Yeah.
All right, guys. What episode is it? Hold on. I'm sorry.
This guy.
I'm sorry.
20,
Sorry.
bro. How you gonna forget that? This was
I didn't-
fucking...
All right, guys. Welcome back to Squad Pod, episode 20. Big 2-0. I'm 2-0. I'm pretty excited about it.
20 weeks.
20 weeks.
20
That's
weeks
pretty
in a row.
exciting. Yeah.
It is. Been doing it for a while now.
I'm excited. I love doing this with you guys. Sorry I missed last week, but let's just
And you
lead
leaving
in.
early this week.
I know.
Son of
I
a
know.
bitch.
I know. I know, but I'll always be here in spirit and heart. You should just put my box
Your
up.
present.
But
There's a
let's
picture
lead.
of you cheesing.
With Cody's shirt on.
Yeah. Just a screenshot of that call from the video.
I'm wearing it.
I'm wearing it.
We interrupted the shit out of
I'm
you.
gonna
Keep
just put a
going.
picture, Alex, of your face smiling with it like close up, like when you're
I'll be okay with that. I'm fine with that. That could be my
your
profile
eyes
picture
were like
forever.
closed, like I'm wearing it.
All right.
Anyway.
Total off the wall question. No theme to 20 at all. But what is your guys' favorite stand-up special, like from comedians?
Ooh, I got an answer for that actually.
I feel it most. I have two. I'll go first if you want me to, if you need to think about it. But if somebody wants to
I
take
have
the ball,
one
take the ball.
right off the top of my head, just like a favorite, like a personal favorite. I know it's probably a popular favorite too.
Mhm.
Doesn't
Eddie
matter.
Murphy Raw, man. Eddie
Oh.
Murphy Raw.
No doubt, dude. Eddie
one of my
Murphy
two.
Raw.
It's one of my
Love
two.
that.
I was gonna say
every
Eddie
time I
Murphy
watch
Raw.
it. Every
I got
time I
Hilarious.
watch it.
I own it in my shelf of movies over there.
Mhm.
I own
Oh
it.
my god,
Yeah,
it's so good.
Hilarious.
Definite classic.
Classic.
And then this like as a consolation, I'm not trying to take anybody's, but like Wyatt gave me a Dave Chappelle stand up years
Oh.
ago.
Yeah.
Which one?
It's an older one. Oh god.
Killing Them Softly, I think it
Yes.
was. That
Yes.
was a really good one. Yeah.
I don't know if I
watched
ever
that
saw it.
multiple times. It's an older one. It's really good, man.
Speaking of Dave Chappelle, just going off it, I literally did you guys see it's on Netflix now? I just
The
turned
Chappelle Show.
the Chappelle Show. It's on Netflix. I
Yeah.
just on because Marissa didn't really watch it as a kid.
Oh,
It's-
really?
It's uncensored and everything. Because you know in the
Yeah.
first episode where he's like, "Did you see my face when that titty popped out?" It's still titty popping out and everything. I was like, "All right." They
And
got
he's
some
just like staring at it while they're driving.
funny. It's funny. Love Dave Chappelle. Good comedian. Go ahead, Evan. I want
Oh,
to hear
yeah.
yours now.
I have not watched that much stand up, but I really like Bo Burnham. So
Oh, Burnham?
his was it what? I think it was
He's the
what?
British. Is he the British guy?
No, he's the guy that was on YouTube that did the funny songs, and then he started doing stand up. Then after that,
Yeah, I remember.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I know the name.
I think you would recognize the YouTube videos before the stand up.
I feel like I've seen him though. He looks like I feel like his name's Jack White from. He's like a British comedian. He kind of looks like him.
He looks like just like a skinny basic white dude with a
Yeah, he's got
moppy
kinda
haircut.
long,
Yeah,
swoopy hair.
Yeah.
I feel like him.
yeah. The
don't
comedy's
know.
very ironic. It's witty and kind of it's. Yeah, I like it. But yeah, what? It was he does a lot of music in him too. But he did
Yep.
one. It wasn't what? It was the next one. I forget what it was called. But he kind of parodied I guess Kanye went on like a rant. Oh, I mean, Kanye always goes on a rant. But like one of his concerts, I guess in like the middle of the concert, he starts going on about like his t-shirt sales or something. He kind of parodied it. I can't talk tonight. But yeah, anyway, like he went on, but then it ended up becoming like an existential crisis in his head. Like it was wild. But I like it.
I was probably
Wyatt's
gonna
got some
say.
good shit.
I was probably gonna say like Dave Chappelle, like that one, dude. That one's classic, and Eddie Murphy Raw, of course. The one that sticks out is one called "It's Bad for You" by George Carlin. That's classic, bro. George,
I don't think I've ever seen that one start to finish, but I've seen tons of YouTube clips with that in like the title. Like,
pretty much anything George Carlin is instant classic. It's hilarious. Also, I know there's a bit of controversy around him in the past couple years, but Louis C.K., man, I really like his specials. He's hilarious as well.
I like his show too.
Yeah, his show's good too. But I mean, his specials are just so out there. There's just some ridiculous shit, and it makes me lose it all the time.
He's funny. I like him too.
Yeah. Other than that, man, there's so many specials I used to like though. But those are probably like the two I can think of, other than Eddie Murphy and Dave Chappelle. There, another one. It's not really a special. It is a comedy. Like, it's kind of a legend now. It's on YouTube. It's Bill Burr's classic set in Philadelphia. Whenever they were booing him, whenever he came out on the stage, so he continued to skip his planned set. And he roasted the city of Philadelphia for his whole set, and it's all online, and it's classic. You ask like Eddie,
I haven't seen it. I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, there's YouTube videos. Like Joe Rogan's talked about it numerous times. Like, watch that shit. It's like 10 minutes long, and it's like the whole crowd's booing the shit out of him. And he's like, the legend of it is, it was a comedy festival, and it was all day. And by the night when the headliners were going on, the crowd was so drunk and rowdy and shit, and they were just booing everybody that came on. And Bill Burr, he was like pretty high up at the time, so he was just like, fuck that, I'm not taking this from them. And he just went out, and instead of his planned set, he just roasted the shit out of Philadelphia, said ridiculous shit. Like, he's like, said like the ridiculous shit about like, your famous like mascot is like a statue, like you got Rocky Balboa. He's like, you praise him all the time. He's a fake figure.
He's a
fictional character. Yeah, he's a fictional character. And it's like, you should have another statue of somebody here. And he's like, fuck the Flyers. What have they done since the 70s? And he's just like, dude, he's just going off for like 10 minutes straight. And by the end of it, like, they're cheering him. Like, they're loving it by the end. Like, they're on his side at the end. And the whole time, he's just like, goes off for a while, and then he's like, 5 minutes left, and I'm done with you motherfuckers. And then he keeps ripping, and he goes on more, and then he's like, 3 minutes, I got 3 more minutes left with you fucks. And then he's like, by the way, I'm selling CDs, I'm selling merch after this. And then he's like, keeps roasting him, and he's like, all right, you've been lovely, good night.
You've been lovely.
I love Bill Burr. Have you guys watched F is for Family on Netflix? That's funny if you haven't seen it.
Dude, he's outrageous. His podcast is good too.
Angry comedy.
Oh yeah, he's
angry.
Rants all the time, dude.
He's like what's his name? CK Louis or CK Black?
What's his name? Louis Black.
Louis Black, the other
Oh my god, he's like old angry dude. He's really political too.
He is political. I don't know if he always has been, but maybe I just didn't notice much as a kid, but he definitely is now.
Yeah.
I actually love stand-up comedy. I do watch it pretty recently. I love like the Netflix.
I haven't really been watching a lot of recent ones.
I even watch like the ones that I'm not super interested in. Like I'll still kind of watch them. Speaking of Bill Burr, his Netflix special that came out probably like a year ago. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. But my favorites, Vernon stole Raw, but I said I had to, so I'll do another. But Raw, I do love. I mean, just to praise it again after the loop, I own Raw on DVD. It is one of my favorite stand-up comedies ever.
Dude, it is hilarious.
If I were to show somebody who said to me, "Oh, I don't really watch stand-up comedy," and I were to show them a stand-up comedy, it would be Eddie Murphy's Raw.
They would want more after that.
Yeah. It's hilarious. It's absolutely hysterical because stand-up comedy is a special kind of comedy. It's a comedy where you have to picture things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If I had to choose two that weren't Raw, I like the Comedy Central special of Dimitri Martin.
Bro,
that's a good one.
I was thinking about that. Yeah. That's like, so weird because that was probably going to be like not third, but that one popped in my head too. Is that to do with the board where he draws the pictures?
Drawing pictures. That is a classic special. That's an underrated special.
He's very dry, very like dad joke humor, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, exactly.
here's a line with pants, and it's just funny. Like, I don't know, it's just funny. He's very funny,
like mid 2000s, like, you know what I mean? It was definitely funny for that time, you know.
I still like it. I actually still own it digitally. I haven't
seen it in a while.
And maybe a controversial one because I know he fell out of grace, but the Comedy Central special of Dane Cook, I love too. I know Dane.
I forgot about Dane Cook. Yeah, he had some good specials, man.
But the Comedy Central one, cracks me up. I think it's so. Dane Cook had a special talent of really enveloping you into a story. Like there are comedies like Dimitri Martin that are very like one joke, like move on, keep moving, keep going. And then there's Dane Cook comedy, which is like a whole story. It is like
he's acting everything out to like a ridiculous
point Z story that takes 25 minutes of him just like telling this story. And I appreciate comedy like that, like to dedicate to it. I don't know what happened to Dane Cook though. He really like,
I think he's still doing stand-up, but he's just not releasing like specials. He's just kind of like
a Hollywood man. He was like a Hollywood star for a bit.
He was in movies and stuff.
He fell out of it for a minute.
We have a follow-up topic after this because of that. But yeah, he was
before we move on, I do want to bring up well, not even another you reminded me of it when you were talking about a YouTube video. You guys ever seen that YouTube video where Joe Rogan is shitting on Carlos Mencia on stage for stealing people's jokes?
I haven't seen that.
That's kind of like the classic shit that I'm talking about. Like that's like legendary within like the comedy community, like the Bill Burr Philadelphia incident.
You gotta watch that shit. It's great.
Apparently, Carlos, Mencia,
right? He's getting like accused of stealing people's jokes and shit. And Joe Rogan comes out on stage while he's sitting there on the stool on stage, and Joe Rogan comes out and like fuck you, you're stealing people's jokes, you asshole, like just like right there, like, and he's arguing with them on stage, and it's great. It's great, bro.
They both got like banned from like the Comedy Store for a minute. But yeah, Joe Rogan, that is classic. He went and like called him out to his face, like you fucking liar. And he's like called him out. He's like, Carlos Mencia isn't even his real name. And it's like, bro, and dude, he was roasting him. Like he's like, he isn't even Mexican.
While he's sitting on the stool with the mic in his hand, like this is his set, and Joe Rogan sitting here.
They even came out and gave Joe Rogan a mic after like 5 minutes into it because he's sitting there yelling so everybody could hear him. They come out and give him an extra mic so he could sit there and like berate Carlos Mencia to his face.
It's great. Recommend it to anybody. Go watch that shit.
That is classic. I forgot about it.
I don't love Joe Rogan as a comedian, so I will definitely watch this shit. I would like to appreciate him more.
I'm not super huge on him as a comedian either. I've seen his stuff, but it's just like
it's funny, but it's not as good as others.
I think he's a great podcaster.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just not huge on his comedy. I think he's natural. I think he's naturally funny, like in his podcasts, but like his written shit.
I think he's humorous. Like I don't watch his specials that I crack up. I watch his specials like. It's funny. Like we're like again, Raw Eddie Murphy, in which Evan, I feel like you haven't commented enough. Have you seen Raw?
I have
Eddie
not.
Murphy?
No, I was going to mention it, but you guys kept going about it.
Come to my house, I will let you borrow it because you need to see it. Like
I can probably watch it on YouTube.
Pull over.
McDonald's. Man, this ain't McDonald's.
Yo, there's so many classic, and then like the Bill Cosby shit.
Oh
God. He's like, you tell Bill to have a Coke and a smile and shut the fuck up.
Like, got a big bro saying, I want half, Eddie. I want half.
That's literally from start to finish. That shit had you dying.
It's quotable.
And he comes out in this skin tight, like purple jumpsuit, bro.
Oh my God. It's like
the whole show in it.
He was on top of the world. He was the hottest act back then. Like,
have you ever seen the Dave Chappelle, Charlie Murphy shit, wherever he's talking about Eddie was the biggest. Like the Charlie Murphy shit was happening at the same time as probably Eddie Murphy Raw being recorded.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
True.
Like some real shit.
Hanging out with Rick James and shit.
He had the insight, left the pants on, and showed his whole dick. He was like, "Hey, like, come on!" Eddie was a star.
Hilarious,
dude, hilarious. And he knew it too. God. He knew it, and he lived it. He fucking lived the moment.
Him in that suit on the thumbnail, like somewhere, just somewhere on the
It'll
thumbnail.
just be the only thing. I'll just have it as the only thing.
purple one's delirious. It's got to be the red one. The red one's
The
raw.
red one's raw.
No,
Exactly.
the red
Like,
one's
he looks like
delirious.
Michael-
The purple
Oh,
one's
really?
raw. Yeah,
I thought the
red one's delirious.
really.
I would go with that. I don't
Am I
agree,
doing
but
purple
maybe
or red
maybe
here?
you're-
I'll have to
I would
research
trust
it.
Wyatt, to be
Huh?
honest.
too.
Bro,
He would probably know
purple's
better.
raw.
I think it's. I'm googling it now.
Yeah, he's right. It's purple.
All right. I feel like it was red.
Right.
Like, just remember
Yeah,
that red
red's
suit.
delirious. But I was
Alright.
gonna say, like, I love how like comedians, like huge comedians that are like legendary, have their own different like styles. Like,
Mhm.
like Eddie Murphy Raw is just on another level. But like someone that's a lot really similar is Richard Pryor, and Richard Pryor's
Yeah.
stand up is also hilarious. Like his story about like him catching himself on fire and shit when he's
Yeah.
hot, like on cocaine and shit. But
I think-
and then you got like George Carlin, where like you laughing your ass off, but you come out kind of learning something.
Yeah.
Like he's speaking some truth.
I feel like I'm more scared when I come out of a George. I'm like, oh gosh, the world is
'Cause he's
terrible.
like, yeah,
Like,
he's saying
before
everything
He
bad
is-
about
but
the
he's still
world.
talking shit that's true to
Bad
death.
for you.
The world
Television
is
is
terrible.
bad for you. Like religion, politics, everything. Mind your business.
Mind your business. Don't tell him nothing. I'm like,
That's the beauty of fucking stand up though, because like even though it's not my stand up, like you even talk about like Jeff Foxworthy, Larry the Cable Guy,
yeah,
like,
I was gonna say one of the underrated ones.
but it's
for me-
funny, dude. It's funny.
It is.
It's
I
fun,
remember watching Blue Collar Comedy
Mhm.
Tour and shit.
dude. Funny
And I was
shit.
gonna say one of my underrated comics is Ron White, dude. I really like Ron White. He
If I
was
had
in the Blue Collar and
I
shit.
would pick Bill. What's his name? Bill.
I know
Yeah,
exactly who you're talking about.
How underrated he is, but I would pick him out of all of them that I thought was underrated. It would be him because I think he was
Really?
fun.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I just
Ron-
like Ron White because he's just so like, I don't know, he's so different than the rest of like the blue collar. He's like the more dirty comic.
Yeah,
out
he's
of
just
them.
kind of like.
He
that's
reminds
the dude that always had the glass.
Yeah, he's always.
Always
Yep.
has a drinking and a cigar.
And a
in his
cigar,
hand
yeah.
while he's
Cigar.
talking.
he reminds me too much of CK Black to be like, okay, he's super original. Personally, not that he's
Yeah,
not
I feel you though.
like
He's
Ron
just
White.
like, I don't know, he's just a different dude. Like, and it's so weird that they have him with like Larry the Cable
He doesn't
Guy,
fit
Jeff
with the
Foxworthy.
rest, but he
Doesn't
does.
fit.
Like he.
You might be a redneck. Jeff Foxworthy's big ass mustache. Like
Dude,
his
Jeff
clean-ass
Foxworthy-
acts.
Jeff Foxworthy, out of all of them people, where it was like, and only because I know this because I watched Shark Tank and I kind of like understand, he was the driving force of that. He was the
yeah.
dude, like, we're gonna make shit into a multi-million-dollar brand. We're not just gonna be a comedy special. We're gonna have catchphrases. We're gonna have products. We're gonna have everything.
was the
They're gonna be
brains.
lunch boxes.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
gonna
And
be
he,
pens
found, and he
dispensers.
found like Larry the Cable Guy, and he's just like, yes.
Larry the Cable Guy was like
Excellent.
was the
Excellent.
punchline.
He has a catchphrase. He has a look. He has
He's a
like,
good businessman though, and I mean, you wouldn't think about it looking at him saying you might be a
Genius.
redneck. Like you look at him, you're like, okay, you got
smart as
it.
fuck. And now
Smart
he
as
has
fuck.
like his own
Deep
serious
pocket.
radio station. Is like Foxworthy Radio and shit. Like
Right.
that's what he's doing now.
On Shark Tank, and I know that's just a TV
I've
show,
seen
but
that.
that's
I've
a TV
seen that
show
episode
of
with him.
millionaires, of people that invest. He's been on that
Foxworthy
shit.
was, like the biggest shit that like in comedy from like in like the
Hell
90s.
Oh my! For a good couple years, the blue collar comedy tour
yeah.
was the only comedy that was relevant. Like
Yeah.
that was, and like I even remember as a kid when I wasn't into stand up comedy, like I watched that.
My parents watched it.
You want to
It's-
know some funny shit? Like, I don't know what made me think of it. Like, just when you said like the mid 2000s, late 2000s comedy, looking back on it, it's so funny. What like picturing me as a kid watching Comedy Central, like staying up late and watching specials, because there was no way a young white kid should be watching Cat Williams at like midnight uncut. But like, there's no way I should have been watching that at the time, and because like Cat Williams is hilarious too. Like that special where he's like in the big ass green jacket,
Yeah, that's what I'm picturing.
Yeah.
I'm sweating,
hilarious.
drenched.
just to be the outlier, I don't
He's
think
like
Cat Williams is
the big
that funny.
towel.
I think it's like kind of like
Fine.
Kevin Hart, where it's I don't
Kevin
think
Hart's funny
necessarily
too.
the
I
things
appreciate
that
Kevin
he's
Hart more.
saying But I don't think necessarily things that he's saying are necessarily too funny, but it's everything. It's the character of Kevin Hart that makes it so fucking hilarious.
There's some people that could say
dad
anything and it'll be funny.
Has me
when
dying.
he's talking about his kids, that shit's so funny, man. Like
I do like Kevin Hart. I like Kevin Hart.
I love Kevin Hart. I put Kevin Hart way above Cat Williams. I'm just saying, like, I think he's kind of similar, just not as liked. Like, where he's a whole character. Like, if you don't like Cat Williams, like character type shit, it's not gonna be for you regardless. Type of thing. Like,
sure, I get that.
That's just how, because I don't really feel too fond about him either.
This podcast, it's all be Alex topics.
I was just saying like that. That was like the first example of like a little like a younger like. I should not have been watching Cat Williams of all comedy at that age. Like whenever we were that young and that was popping.
There's a lot of things on Comedy Central we shouldn't have watched.
That's true.
We did.
That's true. I should have been
watching
watching Eddie Murphy or Richard Pryor at the point.
Time out. Before we go any farther, the only stand-up comedian we haven't talked about, motherfucking Robin Williams, is a genius in stand-up comedy. Super underappreciated. And everybody who's listening to this who's trying to get into stand-up comedy, go listen to fucking Robin Williams. Dude
he was an improv master, man.
Improv master, like absolute genius of a fucking person. And
it's like watching a guy freestyle.
Oh yeah,
like
exactly.
Like how
freestyle comedy.
How do you do this? How do you do this?
Yeah,
how do you come up with like the voices and all the like faces and like it's so fast. Like he's just going from one thing to another so quickly. It's wild. So much energy all the time too.
Yeah, he was a genius, and I mean all these people were genius. Cat, as much of a flash of pen he was, genius. Kevin Hart, great guy. Jeff Foxworthy, the Whole Bloods Comedy Tour, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, all those people. Watch them all. Great comedy specials. Great comedy specials. But are we done with comedy specials? You guys good?
This is the Alex show, so let's just keep going.
That video, Cat Williams getting beat up by that 13-year-old.
Remember that.
So the one thing I was going to end on was that shit was wild. That was like a little. That's what finished. That's like a nail in the coffin. That was a nail in the coffin.
That was 5'1" Cat Williams, who 2 comedy specials ago was talking about being a gangster in the streets, doing shit, getting beat up by a 13-year-old. Dude. Like, this is the greatest comedy. He aged him super much. Like, you're watching him on TV and you're like, okay, maybe he's just short because of TV. And then you watch him get beat up because of 13-year-old and you're like, all right, this dude wasn't a gangster.
This dude was not a gangster.
The one thing I was going to say before we move on was like, it's interesting to see Chappelle's career and how like in high regard he is to everybody. And whenever he was huge for a minute, had a show, and then he disappeared for years. And then he came back, and now he's still like the biggest fucking thing in the world.
The demand was so high.
Yeah, and he like hasn't skipped a beat, and he kind of changed his style in a way. It's more like riffing on stuff now than like
I actually thought
what he used to do.
I thought about this the other day.
He evolved his comedy.
I feel like it's more mature now.
Yeah,
I was thinking that. Yeah, watching the most recent stuff, it's definitely more mature.
I love Dave Chappelle, and I
ridiculous and out there.
Oh yeah, it's not as childish, sure.
Yeah,
but I just watched Dave Chappelle, which totally tests the stand of the time. It's hilarious still. But do you know who I compared Dave Chappelle to while I was watching this in my own head? I thought about it, and I'm watching Dave Chappelle's show, and I was like, this is very Jerry Seinfeld. And I don't know if any of you agree with me, but not in the sense of like their comedy standpoint, but in the sense that when Seinfeld was out, and I know all of us were too young for this, but when he left Seinfeld, it was the #1 rated show in America. Yeah. He just dipped. He was like, I'm good. I'm done with this, you know? Not that I think Seinfeld's even hilarious. I wouldn't rate him even in my top 15 comedians.
There's something respectable about that, though.
Going out on top.
Exactly. He left and he said, I can evolve from this. I don't need this show anymore. And I feel like Dave Chappelle followed a very similar suit where he was like, this show has come to the point where I'm done with it and I can evolve from this.
And then look at Jerry. He just comes back and then gets in a car with Obama. And
exactly,
you know, like because he could do that.
Relevant at 70 years or whatever Jerry is 70 years old. Jerry is still relevant. You know, Jerry still has shows. He still has comedians. I like Jerry Seinfeld. I think Seinfeld's a very funny show, whether that be because of Seinfeld or whether it be because of Wyatt.
Larry David.
Exactly. That guy. Every show.
Yo,
I
I'm
got
telling
you.
you, Wyatt is like an encyclopedia.
Oh, he knew because he watches the show Larry David did.
Yeah, Curb Your Enthusiasm. And that's crazy too, is
But-
like he created Seinfeld, had the biggest show, waited how many years after, created Curb, and that's like 10 seasons long, and it's a huge show still.
It's hilarious also. But
Yeah.
just the point, just the absolute like confidence in your craft that Dave Chappelle and Jerry Seinfeld had, that they were like, I am at the top of my career and I can bow out.
Mhm.
I'm gonna do things the way I want to do it. Like,
Do things again, you know, because
Yeah.
they both rejuvenated their careers in a sense where they're older people and they are
They're
either
more
more serious
refined.
comedy,
Yeah.
down to earth comedy, more fine comedy, and they're still doing it, you know, like they're still relevant in today's conversation. We all know who Seinfeld is. Like we all know in this conversation, we all know who Jerry Seinfeld is, you know.
and
Like they didn't give
Yeah.
themselves the opportunity to completely screw it all up. Like they just
They- They didn't dip out like
Game of Thrones.
they didn't dip
Yeah.
out like Cat Williams, where he just went out in like a fizzle, you know, where he got beat up by a 13-year-old and was like, oh, okay.
we have
No.
best case
Even-
scenario and worst case
Dane
scenario.
Cook, like kind of
Cook.
like, yeah.
Dane Cook, even Eddie Murphy, as high as he was, like went out with these like fizzling like box office hits that just continued
As
to go down.
Funny as Nutty
Yeah,
Professor
I
is,
agree. Speaking
that-
of like
you know,
him, I like they've been talking about it for years, and he said that he's trying to like come back to comedy in a way, and I'm like,
But he's
yeah,
to evolve-
interesting.
Evolve it.
Yeah,
Like-
he definitely wouldn't be able to get away with the same kind of jokes.
It's
Mm.
not even like Burnham said. Nutty Professor is funny for the time it
Oh
was
my
good.
God, dude.
Pluto
That
Nash is
dinner
not.
scene.
Pluto Nash isn't funny. Like it's not a funny movie. You need to move on. Like you need to evolve
Yeah.
your comedy to what comedy is today.
Mhm.
Dave Chappelle, Jerry Seinfeld, they've
Like Adam
evolved.
Sandler in a way, like
Recently,
comedy, like
given that, but Adam
because
Sandler
they've
had a hard
kind of
time-
evolved in a way, but like there was a string of movies where he was trying to be too much like
like Adam
Too much
Sandler.
Adam Sandler.
yeah, too childish humor, like just fart,
Too
dick,
90s.
dick and
He was
fart
too-
jokes.
He was too big daddy.
dick
fuck-
and fart jokes.
Listen, and it's okay to have it here and there, but you can't base the whole movie off it. I'm rooting
Yeah.
for
If you're gonna make a movie, like if anybody's gonna make a movie about dick and fart jokes, it's gonna be Kevin Smith, and I will watch it every time because there's some funny ass like dialogue in
fart
between
joke.
about Star Wars or whatever, but there's gonna be some funny shit in between.
I just watched Tusk recently, actually, like a couple days ago. I watched Tusk. I was
I
telling
haven't
Marissa
seen it
that
in a while.
we were watching. We watched the remake of Witches, which is
I haven't
not very.
Yeah,
It's not very
yeah,
good. It's
I kind of figured.
we watched it because Marissa's a huge fan of the original, so she wanted to watch it. And then we finished it, and I was like, "You want to watch a real fucked up movie?" And she's like, "How fucked up? How fucked up?" And I was like, "Real fucked up. Like this movie's gonna like bend your mind a little bit. Like, what the fuck did I just watch?" Because that's how I felt when I watched Tusk.
Kind of turn Evan into the plot a little bit. A dude is a podcaster. He is trying to find a new story or whatever. He goes to Canada, and he finds a flyer about a dude like that's renting a room in his house or whatever, and he's like willing to tell stories. He's been like through a lot of shit, and he meets up with this dude. He's a pretty old guy, and he starts telling him like stories about he used to like serve in like I think the Navy or something. He used to like be on ships and shit, and then he got stranded. Like there was a shipwreck, and then like he was trapped on like this little rock with a walrus, and this walrus kind of like kept him sane, and then he had to like kill and
I
eat
can't
the
even
walrus.
listen to this story. Fucking, I've
I
seen
know.
them.
You're gonna
I
laugh.
can't listen to it
But
without.
like, wait, there's more.
But wait, okay.
But wait, there's more.
So he kills and eats the walrus.
He kills and eats the walrus, and like that's become a special thing to him. But this dude, he drugs the guy, the podcaster, and the guy wakes up, and he's on, and his legs are cut off.
Oh.
And long story short, this dude turns the podcaster into a walrus.
I saw where that was going right at the last section.
Oh hell yeah, he makes him into a walrus, dude.
Turns him into a walrus.
He
Don't
wakes
spoil
up
it.
and he's a walrus.
Don't
And you
spoil
gotta
the ending.
see like you
Don't
see
spoil
him
the
as
ending.
a walrus. It looks gross as shit. It like it is so fucked up.
We didn't explain the best part. This movie has Justin Long in it. This movie's directed by Kevin Smith. This movie doesn't have Justin Long. It has Johnny Depp in it. Johnny Depp in this fucking movie.
You don't even recognize him. He plays the French Canadian detective that's trying to hunt the guy down, and you don't even recognize him.
It's so great because like it is a parody that takes itself so fucking seriously that like the parody is almost lost. But it is definitely
like, holy shit, this guy's a like, fucking
all right, this is for real. This guy's turned into a walrus.
I've only seen it once, and I don't know if I've ever
I haven't seen it in a while.
Again, to be honest.
It comes from like Kevin Smith has a podcast with his buddy Scott Smoger, who's been his producer on all of his movies. And they ran across a story on like Reddit where it was like a Canadian Reddit pretty much telling like a story about like this. It wasn't like a guy didn't turn a guy into a walrus. They came up with that part. They found like a story that was similar. And then they're like, oh, like you turn him into a walrus. And then like, this could be, and they're like, oh, this could be a movie. And then they spend the rest of the podcast like forming the plot of the movie, and they're like, we could make this. And then a whole year goes by, they crowdfund it, they get the funding for it, and they make it.
Let's time out. I hope this podcast gets to a point where we can do that, where I can come up with an idea in this fuking podcast.
I mean, we kind of already did.
No,
and that's like,
don't get ahead of yourself. No, we didn't. Let's make it, and I'm down. I'm getting cameras. I am down. But winter's coming. I know you guys needed snow for this movie.
No, we were planning for this year.
I don't think it's happening this year.
All right, plan it. I'm ready. I'm just saying. What you need? What you need?
I haven't even started writing a script yet, my boy. I need to plan a whole plot out.
And you need me to write. You mean to do dialogue? You need me to do effects? I'll do whatever. I'll do the research. I'll figure it out.
I'll have to do a lot of stuff. I'll have to get together with you so we can I can explain everything to you.
I'm with it. I'm fucking with it. Whatever you need me to do.
Alex, have you heard the whole plot? Like, have you heard this?
I haven't told. I told Burn. I haven't told Alex at all.
I don't want to hear it. I want to make it.
I don't want to put it on the podcast. You gotta hear I don't want it to be stolen.
No, I don't want to hear it, dude. I trust you. I trust you. I trust Wyatt.
So he's just gonna show up and start doing things.
I'm with it, and all my resource and abilities.
Where do you need me?
I mean, to be fair, you're probably also going to have to act.
Where do you need me?
Listen, I have some background in editing. I obviously do Tap That. Shout out Tap That. It's coming back. I promise. We haven't done it yet, but it's coming back. You need me to do fucking acting? I've been in musicals. I've been in plays. I will.
Bro, I pretty much know your resume, man.
Alex,
no, I'm telling you.
Where do you need me?
I will be there. Do effects. I ain't really done effects, but I'll figure it out.
I'm expecting all of us to be.
We are all gonna have to do everything.
Heavily involved with this.
Yeah, you can't do everything, Alex. You gotta kill.
I can't burn it, and the fact that I'll do everything is the fact that you'll do everything. Everybody's gonna do everything, but I'm just letting you know I'm here.
Just
here.
To let you know, I am very excited because me and Evan kind of brainstormed a really good idea.
It's a
whenever like we came up with the plot. I have
thinking about this shit.
All man. It is a document in my phone just full of ideas as of right now. I know how I want it to be. It's the matter of actually writing a script.
Listen, you want to write? We'll meet. Listen, Mondays are squad night. Tuesdays I meet with Storm. Wednesdays are this. Thursdays I meet with Storm. Fridays though we're free. If you'd like to get together every Friday, I'll write the script with you. Okay.
Okay.
I might have to be on. I might be laying in my bed on my phone on Friday with y'all.
You just like, yeah, that sounds all right, man.
I might be wasted. We might be meeting at 2:30 in the morning when the bars close, but I'll be there. Okay. Like I'm coming into it. All right.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. I have not forgotten about it. I plan on doing it eventually here. It's just getting everything planned. You know, I would love to make a movie.
All right. We've gotten way too far. I do have another question, I promise.
Alex, what are you drinking?
He's drinking vodka and ginger ale.
Burning! Yeah!
Hold up. Breaking this just in. This isn't related, but apparently the Warriors are worried Klay Thompson suffered an Achilles tendon injury.
Yeah, I heard.
No!
Get out to him. Yeah, that would suck for him, man.
Yeah.
I want the Warriors to come back and
what was your question, Alex?
Achilles.
Another question. What is what is a Hollywood actor or actress that has fallen out of grace that you want to make a comeback, like that isn't super popular anymore, that you would like to make a comeback in life.
Go ahead, Evan. I got one too.
It's not necessarily the actor. I guess it's just the movie. I want another Austin Powers movie, so I'm going to say Mike Myers.
Mike Myers,
because I want another Austin Powers. Everything else is whatever.
Bring him back. He hasn't been in anything in like 10 years.
I just want a new Austin Powers.
Yeah. Just like specifically new Austin Powers, because I would even take like a new Wayne's World. I'll take Wayne's World.
I would take a new Mike Myers movie. Period.
But I'm trying to think of like, you know,
give me a new Shrek.
Oh, give me a new Shrek. Hell yeah,
they do Shrek a lot actually. I think
now as fallen out of graces, do they have to be active? They're just not in anything huge anymore.
Yeah, they can be active. They just can't be huge.
Yeah, I guess you'd say Mike Myers is inactive. So
Kurt Russell.
He's old, but I want to see more Kurt Russell.
He was really good in Guardians 2 also as an old dude.
He was.
Isn't he in Stargate?
Pretty much he's just in like Westerns and like Quentin Tarantino movies now.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he's in them Tarantino movies.
Yeah, he's in like Hateful Eight. And then he's had a small part
in Stargate though? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just making sure.
To be honest, I had no clue you have any idea about Stargate or have watched Stargate, to be honest. I haven't even watched Stargate, bro.
I saw the title and I put that movie on, bro. I was like, and I was like,
wait a minute, Burr know about Stargate?
It's crazy, bro.
I've never watched it.
If Kurt Russell's gonna come back, Kurt Russell's gonna come back for a fucking Thing sequel. And if he don't come back for the Thing sequel, I'll be pissed as hell. I don't
know. An actor that's really kind of fallen out.
I got one.
Russell's a good answer.
Yeah, I meant like a younger person, maybe.
I have one. He's not young.
Okay.
Kurt Russell's a good answer. Mike Myers is a good answer. I like them both. I would love to see both of them in a movie. Burnham?
Or one of you guys?
I was just. It's because of my love for like Evan said, for a really old movie, Brendan Fraser. I want to see Brendan Fraser come back, man.
You stole my answer. That was
Fraser.
I'm sorry. I had no intentions of stealing it.
I totally agree with you, though. Brendan Fraser needs to come back. I know he's been in that Doom Patrol show for DC.
And that shit looks pretty interesting. I never got a chance to watch it.
But he hasn't been in any like movies like lately.
No.
Have you guys read Brendan Fraser's story?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's sad, dude.
That dude is the first like Me Too movement where like he had some shit happen to him that shouldn't have happened, and he spoke up and got blackballed from Hollywood. And fuck that shit. Like that dude deserves another chance. Like that dude,
and he like became like an alcoholic or some shit. Yeah, like it really fucked him up.
Well, welcome to honing a craft for as many years as Brendan Fraser has, and them telling you like you'll never work in this industry again because somebody did something bad to you. Like you didn't do anything bad. Somebody said something bad to you, and fucking he backed out. Like Brendan Fraser got the raw end of the stick, and I haven't watched Doom Patrol, and I want to only to support that guy because I think his end was a raw deal, and I like Brendan Fraser movie. Mummy, awesome. Blast from the Past is one of my favorite comedy movies ever. I think it's hilarious. With Alicia Silverstone, who's another actress that I absolutely love. Fucking
where's she go? She should come back.
I have a whole story about Alicia Silverstone, but I'm not going to get into it. It's the movie she's in that she does a fantastic job, but I hate it. It's one of my least favorite movies, but it is fine.
Damn.
What movie is it?
I think
you have to follow up now.
I want to know what it is. I'm curious.
All right. Well, Brendan Fraser, Vernon. I'm not gonna lightly tread on this, but Brendan Fraser should absolutely come back in Hollywood. And I didn't have much time to think of anybody except Brendan Fraser because I thought nobody would pick him.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. But The Mummy, great movies.
I'm sorry.
Alicia Silverstone. I hope she comes back, even though I have read articles where she's just being a mom. There is a movie with Alicia Silverstone called The Crush. And if none of you have seen
The Crush.
It is called The Crush. It has the guy from The Princess Bride, whatever his name is. He plays Wesley, whoever the main character in The Princess Bride is.
It's the dude from The Princess Bride, Carrie Ells.
That guy. And I'm just gonna explain the plot to you.
I'm so glad I know you, Wyatt, because like you
knew.
You know, man. Like It's perfect. And like the things that you don't know, maybe I know. So like it's that's why we're such a good team.
It's a tandem.
That's right.
I love it.
One of
Go
us is
ahead,
going
I'm
to know
sorry.
something.
That's okay. So he plays a writer who rents this guest house from this rich couple to live in while he writes his book. And Alicia Silverstone, who should come back to his acting because this is
I've seen this movie. I know what you're going to talk
it
about.
sounds like a total negative to her, but she does a great role. This is the role she's supposed to play. She plays a 14-year-old who has a crush on him, the crush, who has a crush on the writer. And man, she like makes advances towards him and he like turns her away. But it turns into way more than that. She like frames him for rape. She like puts a condom with the semen in it that she collects in his fucking trash can and like frames him for rape. And it is this like, I remember this is one of the first movies I was watching and I was up on my feet like, this fucking bitch. Like piss the fuck off. Because as a viewer, you know everything that's happening. And just like this writer is just like losing his mind. And he'd be like in the beginning, it's very innocent. And he's like, oh, he tells the parents even, he's like, hey, your daughter is coming on to me. You need to get her away from me. And then she like shows up in his apartment, like nude. And he's like, oh my God, like, the fuck am I supposed to?
That's so crazy you bring that up because I saw that forever ago and I always have thought about it, but I never remembered who was in it or what it was called. But yeah, you just brought it back. I remember that movie because I remember being pissed off too because I'm like, how is she getting away with this shit?
With everything. The whole movie she gets away with it. I'm not going to spoil the ending.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah. There's another movie.
Bullshit.
That got me kind of like that. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's called Gone Girl and it has Ben Affleck in it.
Good movie. Great.
By the end of that movie, you're like, this fucking bitch. Like, you're like, what? And then you're like, why? Like, what's good? Like, it's got you so frustrated by the end of it. You're like, what is going on? Dude, that movie's wild too.
The movie's wild. Man, Alicia Silverstone. And again, speaking of Brendan Fraser, she's also in Blast from the Past, which is one of my favorite Brendan Fraser movies. I like Alicia Silverstone. She's in the worst Batman movie, but she's not the reason it's the worst Batman movie. She didn't play a part in that. That's
a
fine.
Trend here.
Well,
like she's good at bad movies, or maybe not a bad movie, but like
I think
there's a nice strategy to that. It makes you look good.
We're gonna get into why Batman, the worst Batman movie is the worst Batman movie. Trust me, it had nothing to do with her. Nothing.
No.
That was Joel Schumacher. As much as I appreciate what he does for
Joel Osteen.
No, not Joel Osteen.
Joel Schumacher. Schumacher, right? Schumacher,
I think.
Like, he did a lot of great things for Hollywood where
I think it's Joel Schumacher. Wait, what? Schumacher.
I think Wyatt's right. He did a lot of great things for Hollywood where he brought forth a very distinct, colorful style. I don't know if it fit Batman, especially coming off Tim Burton's very dark Batman. Very dark Batman. And he came up with this like very comic booky, like,
it was dark, but it was full of color as well, with like neon lights.
One-liners, like, I don't know. In a bubble, the movie seems
credit
good.
Card.
Exactly. In a bubble, the movie seems good, but in the grand scheme of Batman movies, it's not a good movie.
Yeah.
But the one he did before that, Batman Forever, even though everybody hates on it, is a good movie.
I love that movie.
Jim Carrey also needs to make
the one with Dr. Freeze or Mr. Freeze. I mean,
no, that's Batman and Robin.
That's the one we're hating on.
Yeah, that's what we're hating on.
I was a little kid, man. I haven't seen him in a
Batman Forever
while,
is Jim Carrey as the Riddler and Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face.
Oh yeah, okay.
Good movie.
Good movie. I know that like Tommy Lee Jones hates Jim Carrey and hated him during that movie, but they play off each other so well.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey's wacky now.
Jim Carrey's a great another actor.
I like Jim Carrey.
I like Jim Carrey. He's in what's that show that he's in?
Like
he's like kind of like a Mr. Rogers kind of character.
He's in a TV show.
Yeah, I forget what it's called.
I wanted to watch that. I think it's.
Me too. It's on. I think it's on Amazon.
I think it's on HBO because I remember watching it or Showtime.
Okay, maybe.
I forget if I watched it after Game of Thrones or
I wanted to watch
Shameless, but it's weird. It's weird.
It's like a drama.
Bye, Alex.
Hi, Marissa. You see her?
He just sleeps.
He's just like, push. I'm out.
It's like,
I'm
all right,
out.
I'm done. I don't need to be here.
Look
Look at my chair.
It's called Kidding.
Kidding. Oh yeah, yeah. Because there's like puppets.
I wanted
and
to
stuff.
watch it though. It looked good.
Yeah, it's weird. I didn't. I guess I didn't watch enough of it to really piece it together. But
Yeah.
I think it's on
Yeah, it looked
Showtime
good.
because I think
I
we
know
saw.
Luckily, he was in that Sonic the Hedgehog movie, and I know that did pretty well. So I mean, maybe that'll boost his career a little bit more now.
Yeah. Anyway, it's not.
But I mean, I don't know if he was necessarily trying to really
do a
be
sequel.
in a lot of huge things. You know, he's been kind of staying out of like the limelight the past couple years, doing some small shit here and there.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's been kind of. I know he's a huge painter. Like that's like his shit now. He's an
Oh.
artist.
That's
He makes a lot of. He has a lot of cool shit. He has like a whole website of just like all of his art that he does and stuff. It's pretty interesting. He's woke, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say
He's opened his mind, bro.
he's yeah.
He's not the same Jim Carrey as like '90s Jim Carrey anymore.
He's not like wacky zany Jim Carrey. Like, hey, He's more so
Yeah.
like. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know,
how else to
man.
put it.
Yeah, he's definitely not like how he's been through some shit.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
yeah, man. On another topic, not another topic, but another person I wish would come back was Tracy Morgan, bro. I really like Tracy Morgan and like 30 Rock and shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
was,
Hilarious,
I
bro.
can't
He
think
needs
of
to be in
anyone
more.
else like that.
Yeah, everybody I
that's
think
fallen
of is
from
like
grace.
relatively like active still and decent movies.
I probably could think of someone. Like if I had a warning of this question, I probably could have came up with something.
Possibly.
But
But I mean, like McConaughey's and shit all the time still.
yeah, he doesn't usually play like the lead role now. He's just kind of like the
Like laying back as like
Yeah.
the secondary character.
I'm Matthew McConaughey. I'm in this movie. Look at me. Like,
Look at me, I'm
Look at
back.
me.
All right,
You
all right, all
expect to
right.
see me in this movie.
I don't need to be the star. I'm just yeah. I heard that was improvised.
That's what I heard too.
I heard he does that, and he started doing it, and then like Leonardo DiCaprio
You
started,
could
and they
see
just
him-
kept it.
You could see him like cracking a smile and shit. You know what I mean, Leo? I love that
Yeah.
movie. That movie is so fucking
I love when you
crazy.
see in a movie or a TV show where someone is on the brink of breaking character, and like
Right.
you catch it and they don't cut it out. Like,
Yeah,
have you seen?
that's the best part about like Go ahead, Evan.
Oh, I was
Give
just
your-
gonna say like in The Office, the episode where Phyllis and Michael were both Santa, and Kevin sits on
Mhm.
Michael's lap. There's actually a scene where you see Andy and Kelly in the background. In one shot, Andy's like standing there watching, and then it cuts back, and he's behind the wall because they couldn't get through the take without everyone laughing. And then you see Kelly laughing as well. So it's
Yeah.
like
I know.
it's just-
I have noticed that there's points in the background, or like they're talking to someone, they kind of crack a smile
Mhm.
right before they cut away, and it's like they just couldn't make it through. That's the cool thing about Curb Your Enthusiasm with Larry David. They keep the laughs in. Like if they're like talking to each other and like they're making fun of each other and they start laughing, they keep it in because it's like that's how a natural
yeah, it
conversation
feels
is.
natural.
Yeah, like they purposely do that because it's actually like naturally like if they're laughing, that's genuine laughter that
Mhm.
they're gonna put in the show. Even if they're like sitting there roasting each other and then they start laughing, like they keep that in the show and shit. That's like the best part about it is like most of it's genuine.
Yeah, there's a lot of like I like that because it's not the canned laughter. Oh, not like canned laughter, like real fake laughter, but acting laughter.
where the audience is telling you when to laugh, like the laugh track.
Yeah, I'm not a total hater on the laugh track, but when I hear it, it does bother me now. But only because now I've watched so many things that don't have a laugh track. Like,
Yeah,
like
I
if I
think it
go
only
back and,
doesn't work if it's not funny. Like if it's funny, I feel like it doesn't
Mhm.
it doesn't matter. But if the show's not funny, then it's like, all right,
It seems
I get it.
forced.
Yeah, it seems too forced at that point.
Like, don't tell me
okay.
when to laugh.
Yeah, that's when I get mad.
Yeah.
Like, don't tell me to laugh. This is
I know this is funny. I'll laugh. But like
I'll
Friends,
laugh if
I
it was
love
actually
Friends,
funny.
and the laugh track usually doesn't bother me at all, except for the few moments that they're not really that funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's other like a lot of the older sitcoms and stuff. There's some moments. where
Yeah,
I'm
like
okay.
Full House and like Family Matters
Yeah.
and shit.
Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince. I've been
Which-
noticing that a lot recently by rewatching through Fresh Prince
They
on
dropped-
HBO Max.
They dropped the shit early tonight,
I
which
didn't-
I'm watching
Oh,
after
I didn't
this
watch
fucking
it.
podcast.
I was gonna
wait,
say I didn't watch it yet.
they dropped the whole
Will-
special?
Will Smith,
Yeah.
he put out a post. He's like, "I told HBO to drop that shit early." Blah blah
And they
blah,
just
like
did it?
whatever. Like, and
Yeah, it was supposed
I
to be
don't know
next
if that's
week. They dropped it like today, I think.
it's
What
out.
the heck?
It's out. It came out at 8 p.m.
Jeez,
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that, man.
I don't
Like
have
what
HBO
you
Max
said
right
whenever
now.
I sent it to the group chat is like I felt like I was gonna cry at the end of that
I was about
trailer.
to cry. I might cry watching this.
It was a
shit.
good
They were talking
trailer.
about
Like-
James Avery. And they brought Aunt Viv back, even though like
I
she's
know
fucking
they got beef.
They had beef. I guess they
They
settled
got
it.
beef. It looks like it.
Well,
He's
they.
like, we couldn't
I
do
thought there
this
was an
without-
interview that they said they settled it. I think.
did they?
I'm just excited to see it.
Bro,
Yeah.
like rewatching through it because I've been watching like in the mornings before. I pretty much watch it when I'm free up until Pat McAfee comes on. Then I turn Pat McAfee. But dude, like rewatched because I haven't watched it in years. It is such a funny, genuinely funny ass
It's
show.
great.
I love
is
Fresh
Great. I'm
great.
so glad I grew up watching
Mhm.
that shit. Like,
Exactly. I
love
feel like I learned like a lot of my sense of humor and like shit I got. Like you learn a lot of shit from it. Like it
Mhm.
teaches you some shit.
It's one.
Especially Uncle Phil.
That was one of the highlights of the Nick at Night lineup. Like, you had some of the old sitcoms that are just classics, but the Fresh Prince was always like when that was on, you're like, all right, like
Then you fall asleep, wake up at 3 a.m, and George Lopez theme
The
song's
big
coming
ass
on. You wake up in the like barely awake and you hear low.
you hear freaking Lowrider on, you're like, oh, I guess I should turn my TV off.
You're like,
I'm in my bed like,
Every time I hear that song, I just think of like the slow motion falling. Like that's all I can think about. That was a weird show.
bro, I just watched a video today of like it was like celebrities making great golf shots, and it was George Lopez, and it was like a nice ass chip out of a wedge. And he just got out, he started. It was so funny, yo. It was like current George Lopez. He's a little bit older. I don't know. It might have been like 5 years ago, but like he was just like it was great, bro. It was great.
I like watching that video of McAfee and Scottie Pippen golfing. I don't know if you see that one. And then he gets Scottie Pippen to shotgun a beer at the end.
They're both sitting there.
He teaches Scottie Pippen how to actually shotgun a beer because he's never done it. And he's like, I know Scottie Pippen. You won a couple championships here and there, whatever. He's like, but you gotta learn that.
You gotta learn something.
He's like, this is probably the most Caucasian thing you've ever done, isn't it? And he's like, you ain't lying.
This shit's great.
Because he's like, I've been told Scottie Pippen's not a great golfer, but he's out here pin seeking. He's whooping my ass right now. He's like, I've been lied to. He's like, I've been lied to. He's like, he just sank a putt from like however far away, and he said no tipping Pippin at the end or whatever.
He's out here pin seeking.
He's out here pin seeking on me. Man, I would love. I just want to go golfing.
Me too.
You say golf got me thinking about golfing.
Yeah, I think we might be done for this season. I don't know. I'd go in the winter.
I would go if it was nice enough, no wind.
Yeah, I mean, I got gloves and a hat.
I was gonna say, I think we only had like 1 or 2 more weeks left of like good golf weather, probably.
Yeah.
Before it gets too cold, windy. It's already starting to get a little cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this weekend's actually supposed to be nice, but other than that though, we're into the cold stuff.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't really have anything. I liked your topic that you wanted to talk about. Why? I don't know if you still want to save that or If
I mean, I would want to save it. Oh, there's Alex. There he is. Hey.
Oh, hey. Welcome back.
Hey.
Look who's
What's up,
back.
man?
Hey,
Where you been, man?
Hey.
do you want the honest answer?
Yeah.
Are you in the bathroom? Because I don't want to know any details.
No, it's not that honest. I was laying with my girlfriend, kissing her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's what it is.
I just didn't know because like you just kind of just like
Yeah, you're just like, all right, I'm done.
just got.
But I'm gonna have to get off soon.
All right.
As soon as she texts me,
we can
I'm good.
save
I'm
it
good.
for an
What are we
actual
talking? No,
music
no.
episode.
What are we talking about? Music? Let me hear.
No, wait.
Let me hear.
Well, I was gonna. I didn't know if we wanted to talk about it or if we wanted to save it. I wasn't
Well,
sure.
What was our last subject? I'll get in on it.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about like sitcoms and Fresh Prince and like laugh tracks and shit.
Yeah.
I don't remember where we got there from.
What?
Yeah, how
what
the
were
fuck
saying?
did we end up on that?
Well, you were talking. You said about the Fresh
We were talking
Prince
about
trailer,
something else, and then
the
you
Fresh
said
Prince
about the
special.
reunion dropping.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I am
I don't
excited for the
remember what we were
reunion.
talking about before.
I'm excited for the
What
reunion.
were we talking about? Oh, we kind of were following up with the whole actors from Grace. We got to Jim Carrey, and then we were talking about HBO and Showtime, and then Burnham was like, "Oh, the Fresh Prince thing."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where we were.
We
So I mean,
connected
we
the
were
dots.
moving on to something new. So I mean, we can talk
Let's move
about
on.
whatever you want to talk about.
Move on. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you guys got anything.
I didn't know. I mean, I have something. I just didn't know if you wanted to save it because it's
No.
kind of like I
Do
you
it.
wanted to prepare for it or not.
Do
All
it.
right. What are some of your favorite all-time album openers?
Oh, I got one.
The
Easy.
first track of like an album that like you remember vividly or whatever that like you love that album opener. Like
I got
you
a
got a
couple.
list of them. I don't care.
Can I
I
go
have
I'm
a
gonna
list.
let Alex go first just in case.
Yeah, so that
Well,
way
yeah,
you
I'm
don't
sure
steal
me and
his.
you and Alex might have a couple of the same.
Oh, I only
Yeah.
have one, and it's not just one, but it's multiple, but it's the same artist.
Okay. Go ahead, man.
The artist that brought forth what an album opener could be for me is Ludacris, and I think Ludacris came on every album opener, and he just spit fucking bars. It wasn't a
Yeah.
song.
It's like
it
the
didn't have a
most
chorus.
fire beat
It just
with like the most hardcore shit. Like
yeah. it just-
instant.
He came in, he
I
threw
agree.
down an instant fucking classic verse, and then he
You don't
went
even
out.
have to name which one. It's
All of
picking
them.
Ludacris
All of
album and
Pick a one.
one.
Hell yeah.
dude.
It doesn't
I
matter.
agree with that.
Dude,
Oh, yeah.
Ludacris threw down some classic. And if I had to pick my favorite, and I again love Ludacris, love all of his albums, but if I had to pick favorites, Red Light District. Red Light District, where he comes in with that, whoa, 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 like, and he's like sold more tracks than Elvis, like, and he's like, labels won't tell you, but I sold more tracks than Elvis. I love it, like, just fucking,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, Ludacris.
I know
Ludacris is
what you're
easily
saying.
my
That is a
answer.
good
I mean,
one, man.
I have other answers, but Ludacris is the answer I don't feel like anybody else has.
That's
I
that.
was
I did
gonna
not
say
have
that.
that one.
No,
Yeah.
I
Good
wouldn't.
one.
Love
You
Ludacris.
can name as many as you want, man.
No, I don't want to take your guys's. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
if,
go ahead,
if
Vern.
we
Steal
circle,
mine.
if we circle
Yeah.
around and you haven't said mine, I got
I'm sure
more.
Vern has one of mine.
I got one, and it's like the soundtrack of my high school. You know what I'm saying? You'll
It's
be,
the soundtrack of my life.
No. but that's one of the titles on this fucking yeah. Into My Dreams is one of the greatest fucking
Yeah.
intros to me, bro.
Yeah.
I remember being a
What was
little
it?
like, not
I get chills thinking about it, bro, because it's so good. You're in
and then you got
my
Common talking at the end of it, right as
Yeah.
he's going into the like, it's like your intro into that album, and you're like in for a ride. Like I love that fucking
that
intro.
whenever I thought of the question, that was one of the first ones that popped in my head because that was one of my favorite albums.
Mhm.
That is.
Yeah, so that opening is amazing, dude. I
That's
love
my answer there.
If I had to make a Mount Rushmore of albums, that would be one of mine.
definitely.
Yeah, me
I
too.
agree.
Me
Yeah.
too. I think every time we brainstorm about top 5, that's one of my top 5s on my list. That's one that's a mainstay for me usually. But they switch almost every time I make the list, but that one's usually on the list.
Yeah, that one's usually on the list for me.
I want you guys to pick more because I have a list.
I have a
Oh, yeah,
couple.
I was prepared. That's why I wasn't sure if you wanted to like talk about it now or not, because like I had a list of them and it was ones that I figured you guys wouldn't pick because like
Okay.
this shit I listen to. But Evan, do you have any?
Yeah, I have a couple.
That you can
So
pick
they're
Go ahead,
all
man.
from like the same year, and they're all from like high school. But
Okay.
so I think one of the best that I mean of the music I listen to anyway, is American Idiot, only because like the album is American Idiot and they just start right in with it. Like it's not like you know most albums sometimes save like the banger for midway near the end, but they're just like nope, like open it up with it.
First song.
So Helena for three cheers for sweet revenge for My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, I just love that song. It's not really, I guess it's not really an opener. I just love that song so much that as an opener, it's good. But I think American Idiot is probably my number one. But I also like Fever You Can't Sweat Out with Panic at the Disco. They have like this weird introduction that kind of like covers every song a little bit, but then it starts in with I don't even want to say the song title because it's so freaking long, but the Martyrdom Suicide one. I don't know if you guys know what song that is, but I love that song.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But I think American Idiot's a good one.
Word.
If you don't want, I'll name it.
Go ahead, man. You guys can name as many as you want, man.
Straight Outta Compton is another absolute banger of an album intro.
Yeah.
For NWA and Come Together for the Beatles is on.
That was one of them on my list.
Yeah,
because like as soon as you put the album on, that's the first thing you hear is that like that. Yeah. Like it's great.
100%, yeah, man. Like that's another one of my favorites.
I know it's not technically an album opener. I don't even have it on my list, but I thought about it. Was White America by Eminem. Like there is like a little skit that opens in beginning, like before it. But comes like pretty much the album opener is like America, and then it's like either that or like I know Vern knows it, the encore one where it's like Father, please forgive me for I know not what I do. Like that one's a good intro too to the album. I really like that one, but like they're iffy because they're not really intros because there's like a track before it's like a skit usually.
That's
I'd still count that.
Yeah, but it's the intro song. It's the song you're listening to.
See, that's how I was feeling with that Panic at the Disco one because it's like there's like a 30-second kind of like gearing you up for the ride, and then it goes into the song. And I was like, which one do I count?
I think rock albums have usually better intros because they usually start with like a get into
instrumental or something like.
Yeah, because I mean, not even off the top of my head, I am looking at a list here like. Welcome to the Jungle is one of Guns N' Roses' intros.
Okay.
That's a hell of an intro to have on an album.
Smells Like Teen Spirit is an intro. Like those are good intros. I mean, and those aren't ones I came up with by myself, if I'm going to be admitting. The only other one I could come up with by myself is Wanna Be Starting Something by Michael Jackson, maybe. Like, that's the intro to Thriller is Wanna Be Starting Something. I love that song.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson.
The list I had here, I did have a mix of like older shit and new shit. It was just like a small list I've made. I did have Come Together. I have Take It Away from In Love and Death, the used album, where it's like life's greatest questions have always been like who are like, and then it ends with a shotgun like cocks, and then it like the blast is then the band coming in like hardcore, and it's such a good intro to an album. War Pigs on Black Sabbath's album Paranoid is an amazing album opener. Yeah, dude. Paranoid, that whole album is amazing. Back in the USSR, the White Album for the Beatles. That's a good album intro. Paper Cut on Hybrid Theory for Linkin Park is a really good one. I had a couple Bob Dylan ones, like a Rolling Stone for Highway 61, Hurricane for Desire. Gimme Shelter, awesome song by the Rolling Stones on their album Let It Bleed. But yeah, that's the ones I had pretty much. I have a lot of favorites. I listen to a lot of old like those types of albums. But like that's what always sticks out to me because the past like couple years I've been really listening to albums more fully instead of just picking songs here or there. So I mean the first album, like the first song always leaves a lasting impression on an album. So I mean like that's always something that stuck out to me. So I figured I'd kind of see what your guys' favorites.
I do like when an album has a theme and it like goes through like that's one reason why I like the Black Parade a lot. Not only because I love the Black Parade, but like the whole album is pretty much like the stages of death. Like it's it goes through like right after the intro, it's dead, and then like song about like,
that is a good ass song too.
I like when an album does have like a running theme to it. And it's good.
It's like a concept album.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even need a theme, but I need at least a running energy.
Yeah,
like
I get that.
Like, a running energy is okay for me. Like if you're gonna come out with, and let's specifically talk about Kid Cudi because he's got a lot of these. Where like you have Man on the Moon. This is a very upbeat. Like I'm the kind of loner kid making my way through this world kind of theme of this album. And then you switch to Man on the Moon 2, which is a very like darker
that intro
album.
to Man on the Moon 2 is amazing as well.
Yeah,
that like
great.
doom, 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 doom.
Great. I've actually how's everyone doing?
You were now ruining. It's
Anyway,
so good, dude.
I was like, whoa, this is different.
Yeah,
exactly.
way different.
I've always listened to albums in that sense where like I have met very many people, and not that it's a bad thing or anything, but like most people listen to music and they listen to it on a very like bit boppy scale. Like I can listen to one artist to a next artist to a next artist, where I'm very like I want to listen to just this artist, just this album, just this mood. And that's always been who I've been as a person. And I don't know if that's just because I didn't grow up in the Spotify era where I had a million things at my resume. I had 8 albums in my CD player and that's all I had, like that's it.
I'm the same way. I get in moods where if I start listening to someone, I'm just going to be listening to that person for a while.
Like I'm just listening to Tyler the Creator, Black Sabbath, Guns N' Roses, whoever I want to listen to, I'm just listening to them.
Absolutely.
See, I'm starting to adopt that more because that's not how I am, but I'm appreciating it a little bit more. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I kind of got into it more because I mean, we did grow up in the age of like CDs and stuff. So I mean, like you had to listen to albums. But I mean, I think I appreciate it a lot more now in the age of like Spotify, where you can have like a playlist of 500 songs that you don't have to listen to the same artist twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Funny just recollection of CDs. I don't know if I've ever told it on the podcast, but I have a funny story of CDs. So growing up, obviously Marshall Mathers LP when it came out was a huge album back in the day.
Oh, I think you might have said this. I think I might know.
I think you might have told this story on the podcast.
I'm going to tell real quick, maybe because I have.
Is it where you stole it?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know. You guys have a better memory than me. I didn't know. I was like, maybe I told it. I don't know. But that's like when I think of an album.
That's another great intro, too. It's like when I was just a baby boy, my mom used to tell me these crazy things. Yeah, on Marshall Mathers LP. After like the whole like, this is your like public service announcement brought to you in part by Slim Shady.
Even the public service announcements is a great fucking intro, dude.
Yeah.
That intro.
That was running for a couple albums.
Yeah, man. That's a good intro. Fuck yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah, man. That was in the age when like albums had skits and shit. There was like 20 track albums with like 4 or 5 skits throughout each one or whatever.
Man, I think
man, I remember those days.
I
remember those secret songs. You had to wait like 3 minutes after the last song for it.
The last secret song I remember was Chance the Rapper, dude, and that shit took forever. I, though, speaking of just the music and how it's gone, actually thought, and I don't agree with myself anymore, but like 2-3 years ago, I thought Kanye West hit a gold mine when he was coming out with those for like a few short months. He was coming out with whether he produced them or made them, like a 7-track album. When he came out with Pusha T's Daytona, he came out with his Kids See Ghosts, he came out with his it's not Yeezus, it's the one with, anyways, doesn't matter. He came out with, like, in a few short months, he came out with like 3 or 4 albums that were like either he produced them or he was on them, where he was like 7 tracks. And I was like, this is it. This is the music of the next generation, where you need to like constantly be putting out a few songs every few months, you know? And now, and I don't know if I just don't follow music well enough, but I don't feel like, and maybe it's because of COVID too, but I don't feel like relevant to my genre new music has come out in months. Months, even going on like a year. Like, I don't feel like anything that I give two shits about has come out in like a good long while.
Why it's gone?
Why? No, Alex. No.
Like, oh yeah.
Did he leave? Oh, he did.
No, I agree though. I feel like there isn't really much that's piqued my interest.
Yeah,
at all.
Maybe it's just us getting older. Maybe.
Yeah.
But
I just want new Kendrick.
Even
give me new J. Cole.
The first album to pique my interest is the Russ album that just came out. I haven't listened to it.
Yeah, that just came out today, right?
A couple today, 2 days ago. It came out recently, super recently.
I just saw an article about it. I don't know. It might have been a couple days ago.
That's the first one in very relevant time that has like piqued my interest, where I'm like, oh, I should go listen to that. But I'd feel, and maybe it's COVID's fault. I mean, maybe it's like, not.
Like Nav. I was itching my ear and it was looking all weird. But like Nav just came out with an album like a week or two ago called like Hurricane or something. I listened to it like once or twice and I'm like,
no,
like it's better than his last one we talked about.
I like Nav, and I didn't even know.
It's better than his last one. And me neither. Spotify told me. Spotify was like, hey, boom, there's a new Nav album. I'm like, oh. So I listened to it a couple times, and I was like,
and here's the crazy thing. And we're not, I mean, obviously we're not artists in any sense of the form, but like, you think with all this lockdown, you'd have a lot of time to make music, you know, like to just
podcast.
Exactly. Like you think I remember, and again, nobody look it up who's listened to this podcast. Me, Vernon, and Wyatt made an album at one time, and that took a lot of just us sitting in a room doing nothing to do it, you know, like. I feel like if I had that much time as an artist, because obviously, like, we're all back to work. Everybody on this podcast is back to work.
For now.
Artists. For now. But, like, artists aren't. Like, millionaires aren't. You know, artists who are making millions of dollars. Taylor Swift isn't back in the studio doing tours and shit. Like, she's done. Like,
she is actually back in the studio. That was a bad example to use. Because there was just an article a couple days ago. It's on the internet, man. There was this fucking some Scott Braun, or I don't know what his name is. I think it might be Scott Braun, to be honest. But like, he had all of her masters. He owned the rights to all of her masters for the last like 10 years or something. And then like he just sold it to some private like equity for like $300 million.
Yeah.
And there was like a deal. I think he did that. I don't know what, but like there's something weird about. She couldn't do anything about it until like November something 2020, and now she's re-recording her first 6 albums again, so she can kind of like own. Like it's weird. It was weird, but like she is actually like that was a bad example to use.
Well, she should though. I like that. I like that an artist, especially an artist in the sense of like Taylor Swift and shit, she should own her masters, dude.
Right. Yeah.
Like she's a popular enough artist where she doesn't need the label push anymore. And unfortunately, they get caught in that trap.
It was a bad case too, because
the dude that owned them,
like she had beef with, like it was like some bad shit, like you know what I mean. So like the fact that he even owned her masters was crazy, you know. But like
that's how the music industry is now, man.
Yeah, look at.
I mean,
have you guys seen with like Britney Spears and stuff, like with her dad?
Yeah, with her dad.
That's wild. Her dad.
She just lost that shit again.
Yeah, she lost. Yeah, in court.
Yeah, I mean, if you own them, you own them. I mean, that's how the thing is. I just read a thing. Speaking of Russ, we were talking about it. Like, he makes, because he's such an independent artist, and I'm not like a huge Russ fan or anything. I mean, I like him. I think he's a good artist, but like he makes like 100,000 a week off of his things because he owns everything. He produces his own beats, he owns his lyrics, he owns everything. He doesn't have to pay anybody, and he's a very inspiration to like young upcoming anybody who's on SoundCloud right now, like trying to get their shit. Like, be patient, man. You don't need the label. You don't need Interscope Records and owe them $1 million to make $1 million. You know, like you can make it by yourself. You'll be fine.
Chance
you know?
isn't on a label, right?
Chance is currently on a label.
Okay.
Like, he didn't make his name on a label. No.
Okay.
But he is currently on a label. He signed one. Finally. I mean, after.
I'm sure though he has a lot of rights to him though. Like, knowing like his stance on it.
Oh, I love Chance. I love him. Me and Cody, and Cody was just here last week. Super miss Cody. If Cody's watching this, I miss Cody being here.
Cody
he went
can't
back
load
to the
it
Navy.
in the internet that he's in right now.
Yeah, he's doing some Navy shit, but I miss him. I was up till like 2:30 in the morning, like one night he was staying at my house because he stayed at my house while I was here, just talking about fucking like our Mount Rushmore rap, and like I did my Mount Rushmore of rappers, and then like I changed it 7 times before we went to bed because we were just talking about like artists that just kept coming up that I was like, oh, maybe they're on it. Oh, I miss Cody. Shout out to Cody. Salute the nation.
Shout out to Cody.
Live like a boat. Live like a boat, man. Where's Wyatt? What happened to him?
I don't know what happened to Wyatt. Shout out to Wyatt.
Shout out to Wyatt.
Shout out to Wyatt.
Bed.
Oh,
my
that's a cool
God.
shirt.
Hating on me for not gonna stay up and listen.
I've been seeing
nobody...
Gohan. I was looking at him, Masenko in there.
It's not a cool shirt. It's the cool shirt, man.
Yeah, cool shirt.
Fucking love this shirt. More than my NASA shirt.
More than my NASA shirt.
You know what I started watching the other day? Just because, like, I never have, and I've been slightly interested, but I've always kind of been like, that's not cool. But now I'm kind of interested. That fucking Dragon Ball Heroes.
Oh, no. No.
I'm not gonna lie. I watched like 4 episodes of that shit. I'm like, oh, shit.
It's all right,
it's
Alex.
like some promotional anime, bro.
Anything like, imagine the most movie fan servicey bullshit that could happen in Dragon Ball, and they're just like, we're gonna do it. Like, think about this. Like, it's like Goku and Vegeta from the future turning like Super Saiyan 4 and fusing, along with like a Goku and Vegeta from the past.
Regular Goku and Vegeta are standing
doing
here,
like
and they're fighting
Super Saiyan Blue together. Like,
it's wild, bro.
There's a promotion. I think Vernon's about to come up to it. It's Super Saiyan Blue Goku versus Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and it's like, what?
Yeah, Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta just showed up.
Yeah,
the last I remember, and they did the Patora.
But
and now
why
it's
are they
Super
even
Saiyan 4.
fighting? Like, what is this?
I don't know. They're like on this prison planet. Like, this evil dude tricked them into coming this planet. It's crazy, bro.
I didn't watch it, Burnham, but like, there's a point now, I think, where Goku is also like the freaking like what's his name? The top angel. Like, he's like wearing his outfit.
Isn't Bandai Namco behind this shit?
Dude, they're just like how many toys can we push out?
This sounds dope.
It's like, I'm watching this shit. I'm like, this is crazy, but I'm like, this is not canon.
It's fine though. Who cares?
But it's crazy because they animated all of it. It is like video game cutscene animation.
Have you watched YouTube? They do Death Battle.
Oh yeah,
that's what it sounds like. It's like some fan made like.
Have you seen the Goku versus Superman Death Battle?
Yeah, and
that is amazing.
Superman should win.
Oh, Superman should win. Absolutely.
Give you like a little context here. Like, they're at the very beginning, they're flying in, and like they're going to fight this evil dude. Like, his name's Cumber. He's like this crazy.
He looks like a buff
big...
Raditz.
Yeah, it's crazy. But they're flying towards him, and like you see, Future Trunks is here too, by the way. Okay, but like they're flying. Hey, what's up, Wyatt? but they're flying
Bro,
towards
my
him, and then
shit
you
cut
see,
out.
you
Sorry.
look down, and you see Cooler standing there, and he's like, "Don't worry, he's with us." And I'm like, "What the like?"
This
it's
sounds
just-
dope.
it's
Like I ain't
out
never
there,
heard
bro.
of this shit.
Oh, and I'm
but
pretty sure there's a
gonna
golden
look this
cooler
shit up
now.
tonight.
Like,
Yeah, he goes golden cooler like 5
It's
minutes after you see him
in
for the
it,
first
because
time.
all I need-
He's like,
all
my
I need
brother
to
could
hear-
do it, I could do it.
Frieza's
All I
got to
need
be in
hear
it
is that
somewhere.
Frieza's in it.
It's crazy. It's
It's-
crazy.
It sounds cool, man. Like
It's
Take
crazy.
that,
And Vernon,
like-
that episode you just described, it's like every episode. It's like the plot. Here it is. They go to it. Something ridiculous happens, and then it's a cliffhanger. And then the next
Cliffhanger.
episode does the same thing.
Yep.
And half the time
And
they
then
just
it's-
forget what they did the last episode. They don't even care.
Yeah. Doesn't even matter
They're just like
because none of it matters.
Ultra
That's the best
Instinct,
part.
Kaioken,
That's the
Goku
best part.
versus freaking
They go
Golden
Super Saiyan
Cooler
God,
fused with
Kaioken
Cell.
immediately. He's like, Kaioken. It's amazing. It's amazing.
With it.
I would not recommend watching it with like two like serious.
You
Like, obviously,
cannot
you're not
watch
gonna
it seriously.
But like,
I was going-
watching it while I was cooking.
I wasn't.
This is
I just
crazy.
want to see it. Like I'm gonna approach it in the very sense that I approach death battles with, which
Yeah,
is
exactly.
very like this is hypothetical.
You
this is
cannot-
bullshit. Who cares?
You can't watch it with a sense of like the power scaling. You cannot have it because it makes zero sense at all.
I
Like
hate when I
like-
watch a Marvel movie and I look into things and they're like, this isn't canon. I'm like, who gives a shit? Move on with
it's
life.
stuff like Super Saiyan Blue Goku getting knocked out, and then like Super Saiyan Trunks like does something, and it's like, how's that work?
Like in the Goku Black arc.
Yeah.
Like, every time Future Trunks went up to fight him, I'm like, why? What are
Why?
you doing?
How is
They're-
he
they're
even
blue.
doing this
Yeah.
right now?
They are gods. They are literal
They're gods.
gods.
They're getting their
Yeah.
ass whooped right now. You think
Yeah, Trunks is able to somehow fuck Goku
he
Black
goes
up
Super
in a way.
Saiyan? Not even
goes-
Super Saiyan 2, right?
He
Super Saiyan.
bulks up a little bit.
He didn't
I
even
didn't
do
watch,
that.
but I'm pretty
Well, I
sure
think he did at one point.
I will
next
say
guy-
though, that Spirit
Yeah.
Sword was cool.
The Spirit Sword
That was
really cool.
fan servicey as hell, and I still loved it because it was cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. I really like that
Oh,
super
Vernon,
arc.
I'm gonna disappoint you. The Moro arc got weird.
No. See, like
not
I
gonna
stopped reading
spoil
the
it.
manga.
well,
stopped-
they do Samurai Jack versus
I
Afro.
stopped reading the manga a couple weeks ago. Oh, I was because it pisses me off that they released one a month, and it just pisses me
You
off. So like,
remember how the Zamasu arc ended? Now it was like he became like the universe, and it was weird. It got weird.
God,
It's weird. I don't know how they're gonna come back from it.
we'll see
Listen.
what happens.
One of the most recent death battles has been Beerus versus Sailor Galaxa. So I didn't watch it. I don't know who wins that
Beerus?
battle.
Is that Sailor Moon?
Yeah, Sailor Galaxa is Sailor Moon. She's like the destruction Sailor Moon. Very similar to Beerus, who came years later.
I'm gonna
as
say
the
this
destruction god.
as like a totally
You don't
biased
know.
source.
You don't know. Don't stop. You don't know. Watch it.
You don't
Beerus can
know.
just delete people
You
from
don't know anything about
existence.
Sailor Galaxa. Maybe she's the bitch. Maybe she's the badass bitch of that
She might
universe.
be,
She'd be
But
snapping her
Beerus can
fingers.
say
and she's
Hakai and they
Fuck
delete.
Beerus
They just
up.
disappear.
like, nope, I don't want
He's
none of
gonna
that shit.
sneeze and he's gonna disintegrate.
That
I,
might be
I've
it.
never watched it. I don't know. But I'm just saying that's
But
one of the
don't
most.
underestimate her.
Yeah, man. I know. Listen, Sailor Moon is
Maybe
one of
next time
those.
You'll learn to estimate her.
One of those animes that like I shouldn't watch, but I have been vaguely interested in watching.
No, why
my whole-
shouldn't you watch it? Sailor Moon's
I
cool.
don't know. I feel like it's out of time where it shouldn't be. Like it's not relevant anymore, and also I'm a 20.
I remember watching it before because they used to have it on like Toonami
Shit.
and shit.
There's like
right?
40-year-old guys that watch My Little Pony. You can watch Sailor Moon, Alex.
Yeah,
It's not a big
That's
deal.
That's
Honestly,
for different reasons.
Bronies.
I don't want to be the 40-year-old guy who watches.
But why
I'm
are you
not
watching
hate-
it? Is it for the plot? That's all that matters.
I'm not saying
I'm
there's
not
nothing.
gonna lie. There is times when I watch cartoons where I feel like I shouldn't be watching cartoons
Me too,
at
man.
my age.
No,
And you,
Yeah.
I don't.
I won't.
I don't give a shit.
They're like when HBO Max came out, I literally would be sitting there watching Tom and Jerry and fucking
Dude, my mom would watch
shit.
Tom and Jerry
And,
all the time.
Has Looney Tunes, and I try to watch it all the time, and Marissa won't let me. It's like this.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't know. But me and Annette been watching Reno 911 because they put it on there.
Listen, you guys should.
Hilarious.
I've said it on another podcast. You guys should watch the Harley Quinn show. Very good.
I have seen a
I
couple
have seen a couple episodes.
Good.
I have watched it.
It ends pretty well too. I don't know if they're gonna do it in a third season, but it ends pretty well.
Okay.
That's cool. I
Good
saw they're
show.
adding like all the DC like shows to HBO Max now, like Titans and everything are coming.
So I mean, and I said this since the beginning of DC's streaming service. They need to partner up with an actually relevant streaming service.
Disney,
Yeah.
Marvel's got Disney, you know, like
Yeah, exactly.
they gotta
Stream
have
up
someone big.
HBO Max or
I mean,
Netflix.
HBO Max is really cool. I
No,
really like HBO Max. They got a ton of shit.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I don't have it anymore, but I liked it when I had it.
American Werewolf in London is on my list next. It's my very next movie that I'm going to watch.
Good one to watch.
I've never
Good
seen.
movie.
We talked about it a couple episodes ago. I've never seen it, and
You're gonna
and
like it. It's funny.
I know the relevance of it. I know I've seen the transformation scene. I know how amazing it is, but I've never seen the movie from start to finish. So getting there. I know it's way out of Halloween time to be watching scary movies, but scary movies.
There's never a bad time to watch a good scary movie, man.
Yeah,
That's
man.
my
What
philosophy.
did I watch recently? I mean, speaking of movies, we watched Venom. I saw Venom finally.
I just watched.
What'd
the
you
movie
think of
too.
it?
What was it?
I
I
thought
did too. I watched a new movie I could talk about.
I thought it was fine. If you're going into it expecting Spider-Man Venom, you're very well off base. But if you're going into it and you've read any like Venom comics like that are specifically based on Venoms, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Good. It's got very good chemistry between Venom and Tom Hardy. It's got a very weak ending, but other than that, it's fine. Other than the ending, it's fine.
Okay.
It's a good movie.
Me and Britt
I mean,
I haven't watched.
just watched a movie over the weekend, and I don't remember a single thing about it. It was so forgettable.
What was it?
I don't remember at all.
No.
I can't even tell you the plot. I swear to God, it has completely escaped my mind. That's
How you
terrible.
know it's a bad movie.
That's not a good
It wasn't
movie.
bad, but there was nothing about it that was like, God, that's concerning. I should get that checked out.
Dude, that's happened before because there was this really like obscure like foreign horror movie that like me and Annette watched a while ago. And we started it again this October and we were like 20 or 30 minutes in and I'm like, I think we've watched this movie before. And this is
I've
like
been here
I
before.
did not remember at all watching like until it was like already halfway through the movie almost. I was like, I've seen this, and then we just turned it off because like it
Listen,
wasn't that
Mark,
great.
I have a great obscure fucking horror movie for you. I'm gonna let you borrow it when you come over and film Tap Hat.
What is
I'm
it?
gonna borrow
What is it?
Called Demons. Great,
I've heard of it. I've never watched it though.
great movie, man. I own it on Blu-ray. I'll let you borrow it.
I just remembered it. It was Holiday.
Soundtrack, like Motley Crue and shit. It's great. It's fucking great.
I've heard about it. I've heard it's pretty good.
It's good. Anyways.
I watched the movie here recently. It was won a bunch of Oscars here last year. It was called Parasite. Really good
I want to
movie.
see it. It's on my list. It's on my
It's
list.
on Hulu. It was. I remember hearing about it winning a ton of awards, and apparently it was like a kind of a movie that you wouldn't expect to win a ton of Oscars. Because it's not like a super drama or anything. It's a really good movie. It's a foreign movie. I don't really want to give too much of the plot away. All I'm going to say is watch it because it takes you on a ride the whole movie, and
I'm super excited.
it's really good. And luckily, I went into it. I didn't even watch the trailer. I didn't really know much about it at all. I just knew it was supposedly a really good movie, so I watched it, and I'm glad I didn't really look into it as much. So I mean.
You went in blind.
Try to go into it like I did. Yeah, it was really good. It takes you for a ride.
Interesting.
It's like a Korean movie.
You said it got
It's
a lot
not
of
like-
Oscars?
Yeah,
Is
it
it-
won a ton of awards.
Is it subtitled? I mean, I've never looked, but is it
It
subtitled?
is. It is
Okay.
subtitled. Yeah.
Which is,
But
and I mean, unfortunately, this is just a character flaw of mine. I usually avoid movies with subtitles, and
Really?
it's the same reason I didn't watch. What was that horror movie that came out a few years ago? It was all in Spanish and it was all subtitles. I started, I never finished it though.
I couldn't tell you.
Hereditary? Is it Hereditary?
no, Hereditary is
No,
not in
that's
subtitles.
I don't remember, but there was a movie that just recently came out. It was all in Spanish, and I started it, and it's not that like I can't read or anything. Like,
You talking about
Like-
the one with the prison with the hole in the floor?
no,
was
but
on
I wanted
Netflix?
That was a
to
good
see
one.
that too. I wanted to see that.
Definitely watch that shit.
This one
It's
had
weird.
to do with like an orphanage or something. I really don't remember what it was called, but it had to do with like an
Devil's
orphanage in the
Backbone?
beginning. I don't know, but it was all in Spanish, and I got like 20 minutes into it, and unfortunately, I have 2 rambunctious children, and
Yeah. I
like
feel ya.
I just can't sit and read that long. Even up in my room where I'm like alone, like I can hear them downstairs, and I gotta get up and like yell at them for hitting each other, and like I just gotta do shit that I can't sit and watch a movie for that
Yeah.
long. So
I feel you, man. But
like
I mean, if you get some time to watch,
Parasite's on my list.
to watch a movie, watch that movie because it was really good. I was pleasantly surprised by it.
I'm super interested in it. I have been for a while.
And since you haven't seen too many of those subtitles movies, watch Pan's Labyrinth, man.
I
Pan's
haven't
Labyrinth
seen that either.
is fantastic.
I've heard, and that's
like
what
Guillermo del Toro's masterpiece. That was an amazing
love
movie.
Guillermo del Toro. I love like creature design. Like if there's a movie with good creature design, I'm all into it. Like The
Dude,
Thing.
Pan's Labyrinth is it, and it has a great story
Exactly.
too.
Oh man, trust me, I have seen so many goddamn behind the scenes of Pan's Labyrinth that I know what happens in the movie. I know how the movie ends. Never seen the movie. Never watched it, but I have seen
Oh,
so
man.
many behind the scene things about the creature creation.
I
and
remember
how
that
it
was another movie I watched not knowing much going into it, and it blew my mind. That's the thing that like I ruin for myself now is I go into a lot of movies now watching the trailers where they give a lot of shit away. Whereas like I feel like going into everything blind, it's such a rush. It's amazing because you don't know what to expect.
I'm the opposite, man. Any movie I'm excited for, I don't watch trailer. I have not seen the Halloween thing that came out. Didn't
Oh,
see
I know.
You
That's see
on the-
like
listed on the group
shit
chat.
I'm
And I was like, no,
excited for like that. I
I'll
have
watch it.
like it's hard for me not to watch it.
I don't watch that shit, dude, because I know I'm excited for it. Like I know I'm gonna
See-
go see it. I don't care.
Yeah. The best
I'm-
part about that, the Halloween trailer, though, it's only like 20 seconds. It's only like 30 seconds. I'm not saying anything about it. I'm not going to say anything about it.
All right,
I'm not
I've
saying
avoided-
anything. I'm saying it's not long. It's only 30 seconds.
dude.
If they don't give anything away that would ruin anything. That's what I like about it. They don't
Like-
spoil anything about it. I might not watch the regular trailer.
There is few series in this world that like if they came out with a new movie, I wouldn't watch the trailer, and Halloween's one of them. There's like Star Wars.
That's
I don't
fair.
care. Any Star Wars that comes out, I'm going to see. Who cares? Marvel
I would
movie.
say any horror trailer I would probably try to stay away from because they usually try to spoil kills and
Not any, but Halloween. I'll stay away from Halloween, 100%. If an Evil Dead sequel came out, I wouldn't watch it. I am going to see Evil Dead regardless. Like I do not give a
I
shit.
mean, they are making an Evil Dead, but it's not going to have Bruce Campbell in it.
I don't give a shit. I'm going to see it because I even like the remake, and I didn't
I'm
watch
gonna watch
the remake, and I liked it.
I just
thought-
didn't know if that was what your basis of not watching it was, if it had Bruce Campbell in it or not. Because Bruce Campbell's the man. I don't think he's listening to me.
Nope. He's totally not. He's-
Hey,
Hey.
Hey,
I gotta go do something.
all right, man. Take it easy.
You guys enjoy your night.
You too, man.
Thank you for having me.
I mean, you're on the
guest
podcast.
Alex Dowling.
Special guest Alex Alec.
My mom is here.
Hope you have you on again sometime.
My mom is here. She gonna pick me up. I gotta help her out.
Is she going to actually pick you up? Is she going to
Yeah.
carry you out?
No, I just can't drive, man. Don't drink and drive.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Drink and drive.
don't drink and drive.
It's not worth it. Don't listen to him.
Yeah, my mom's picking me up. She just got off work. I just gotta help her with some heavy shit, with some like big man shit.
Yeah.
Good
So-
luck, man.
So you
see
can't
it?
drive, but you can lift stuff?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, of
it's-
course.
I can lift shit.
I would-
It's fine.
Gonna be hauling some cube.
I warned her that tonight was podcast.
Hauling
And
cube?
I warned her that I might be a little drunk, but I said, if you pick me up and then take me back home, I will lift heavy shit for you. It's fine.
And I guarantee you, when you get there, you're gonna be like, damn, this is heavy.
He's gonna be like, go pick up Vernon too.
Go pick up Burn too. This is heavy. I'm gonna need some help.
I'll be like, Kyrie, wake up. We gotta help out.
We gotta pick some heavy shit up.
We gotta go lift stuff
Damn,
up.
this is heavy.
You gotta help your mom. You gotta help your mom. That's what you should teach Tyree. She's like, she ain't your mom, but you gotta help your mom. Come on.
You gotta help
your mom.
Either, but I love her like she's my mom. Gotta help her.
Right. I'm gonna come get all of you. Y'all help me pick it up.
She's gonna be like, damn. We're like,
all right.
Here.
Where you want it?
Where you want it? We got you.
Watch it be like one like air conditioner or something.
Oh, speaking of though, I gotta go. I really gotta go. But just one quick story. I do have. She bought a new central air unit that has to go, and it's fucking heavy. One of these days, it's winter now. She's fine. But one of these days, when it starts getting hot, I'm gonna recruit like a couple of you, and that bit's heavy. And we're gonna move that bitch over. Okay?
Sounds good.
Like,
all right, man.
Fine, it's heavy as shit. But thank you for having me on the podcast. We'll see you guys next. See you later.
Peace.
See you,
All right,
Alex.
man. Have a good week.
Thanks for having me on podcast.
Thanks for having me on the podcast, guys.
I'm on 18 of the 20 podcasts. Thanks for having me on the podcast.
I think he might have forgot which one he was on.
He's a card.
No, he's good.
That was funny.
He's just been
Oh my
chilling.
gosh, that's just too funny.
Check my barrel.
I mean, you guys have anything else you want to talk about? Sorry, my internet fucked out a little bit, man. For some reason, it just started blinking and it just lost connection. I had to restart the router.
I have no clue what happened. You know what though? Why I just noticed
even when coming back in, like you guys have been kind of fuzzy for me still.
Oh.
So I mean, it's been kind of iffy.
Is your NDI on, Wyatt? Because your webcam's been frozen this whole time and I haven't been looking.
Yeah, it's on.
Okay.
It even says like stop NDI here.
That's weird. Well, you're kind of just been frozen.
It's probably because I left and came back.
Oh, that might be it. I don't know.
Because I actually left the group and then joined back in.
That doesn't usually happen. I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, we're near the end anyway, so it don't matter.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not worth
some technical issues. It happens. Of course, it happens during a podcast. You know,
Yeah, well,
why would it
of course
happen
it
any
would.
other time?
Why wouldn't it?
The Sixers got Steph Curry.
Steph Curry? Sixers got Steph Curry?
No, Seth.
Oh. Oh. I'm not worried at all then. Big difference.
Big difference. Looks like there were some deals.
That guy's gonna need to change his name.
Nothing
They
crazy.
got some of them deals in Dealsburg.
Rubio went back to the Timberwolves.
We've got.
I did
deals
see
in
that.
Pittsburgh.
I saw that shit.
Okay. They got
That's
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry?
It's like the
What you
discount version.
mean?
No, Seth Curry.
Seth Curry.
Well,
Oh.
I'm not worried at all.
The great
man.
value Steph
Sixers
Curry.
trade Josh Richardson to the Mavs.
For him.
Alex
I mean, I
hijacked
don't
the
know.
intro. I didn't
Are
get
they
to mention.
loading up to try to get Harden?
Probably, maybe.
I didn't get to mention that everything looks different this episode. I mean,
Oh.
at this point in the
I mean,
podcast, I would hope
we
people
still
would
doing the-
notice. But
Put a disclaimer at the beginning. Put like a video of yourself, or put this in right now. Like, hey guys, we got an update.
it's all right.
Update.
Check out this cool ass layout Evan the Hacker Man made. Hacker Man
I know.
I'm
Evan.
I
gonna
had
have
to
a
do
new
some,
squad pod logo. I'm gonna have to make a new one of these.
Yeah, after we're
Yeah,
done with this,
we
Vern, I'm going to
can
talk to you
announce
about that.
Okay.
We'll have a new Squad Pod Sports layout as well, because Evan's the man.
Yeah, I just got to
we
make the
might have
same
some
one I
guests
have
here.
on this, but green.
Might have some guests here in the coming weeks. Hopefully on Squad Pod Sports. Follow Squad Pod Sports on Twitter. Always active on there. Follow, tap that. Like and subscribe. So much shit. we got a plug at the end of each episode.
Yeah.
man.
Anyway,
if they would just like and subscribe, we wouldn't have to keep telling them all the time. But they haven't.
Bullshit.
Don't listen.
What else do we got?
Next time we put it at the end of the episode.
We're gonna be streaming. I want to switch over to Twitch instead of YouTube because YouTube streaming's kind of doo doo. So you know,
Doo doo.
it's kind of poop. So yeah,
You just like would put our Twitch streams on YouTube, or are you just gonna have them just like on Twitch? You know?
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't save them. I wouldn't be able to
Gotcha.
record both and stream at the same time. Not on this machine. I don't know how this thing still turns on.
There is an option if you connect your Twitch channel to YouTube. Once
Oh.
you're done streaming, it does upload your stream to YouTube.
That's cool. I will do that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, Twitch
does have
streaming
that
is just so much better. But yeah, the
You
squad
just have
nights
to
we've been
link the
playing
account to Twitch.
Blessed Unleashed just while because we don't have anything going on right now with a game.
Because
so-
we can't get a damn PS5.
I
get
wish
any
we
new
would just play
games.
Warzone, but no, nobody likes Warzone.
I'd play
Every
it.
time
That
Burn
isn't
plays
the latest-
Warzone.
That isn't even the latest Call of Duty that's out.
So, you Bless is a couple years old. Fuck you,
That's
mean?
true.
Like,
It's new on PS4.
It's new on PS4.
I don't know. There's nothing else like that we want to buy right now to game. It's a multi-game.
We're in
multiplayer
a
game.
drought. We got nothing.
Warzone is free.
Not free for my hard drive.
The 2077 comes out possibly in like the next month or
Or
so.
year. Sometime in 2021. It'll be out by 2077. I
Yeah,
assume.
the multiplayer isn't going to come out until
Multiplayer's
2023.
gonna be forever. I'm totally down though to play it with you guys, even though we're not like together. To at least like, I don't know. I feel like it'd still be
You
interesting.
would be able to play GTA, but you guys can't use discs.
Well, that is
I would have to download it.
a hardware
I would have
issue.
to purchase it again.
Yeah, I don't want you
I
guys to
have
have to
it.
purchase that shit again. I know you guys have it.
I think that's crazy that you can't. I don't know. I guess I get it, but because I don't know. I feel like if you have the original receipt or something, you should be able to do that. Download it or something. Like I bought
Right.
it.
Or
Not
at
my
least
fault.
I
exchange.
don't know how
Like,
you would prove that.
I know.
I wish I could take it to GameStop and be like, "Here's this. Give me $20 towards the digital version."
Yeah.
Or if they just give you a digital code, like you buy a Blu-ray, it comes with a digital movie code in it.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you
Right.
do that? Put that in a game box so you can download it onto your like hard drive, or if your disc shit stops working, you can just download it. You know, like why wouldn't they do that?
So then you got.
I
two
guess
copies.
maybe.
I guess
Yeah,
that's
that
true.
way
You
you don't
could
give
just
it
give it
out
to
to
a
somebody
friend
else.
but I wouldn't do that because I want the digital copy too.
Then maybe they should try to link it to the disc, so if you download one or the other one doesn't work.
Yeah. If they got
Unless
like
it's on
all
the same
those-
console. Unless
they
it's
got
on the same
shit,
console.
like built into video games for like anti-piracy. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
where you could play a whole game and it'll like the end will be all fucked up, like on purpose. The developers did that shit on purpose, like the
Yeah,
I've read
anti-piracy.
stuff about
like,
that. Yeah.
There's a lot of that type of stuff built into video games, and it's pretty cool when you
Well,
look
why
into
not?
that shit.
I forget what game. Is it
That'd
Dark
be-
Souls that if you're caught cheating, that they put you in lobbies with other cheaters? I don't know if it's Dark Souls.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
Dark Souls, I think, is a single player.
Yeah,
game.
that's when I said that I was like, that's not right. But I think it's oh, man.
But yeah, I've heard of that. I
can't
don't
miss
know
that.
which, but
Dark
like,
Souls.
if it detects it, they just put you in lobbies with other people.
Yeah.
that, you know, what I
Dude,
mean?
VAC on Steam,
I mean,
they
Fall
are
Guys did it.
harsh. Like if you get back in my high school days, I downloaded an aimbot for Modern Warfare 2 just for the fun of it. Like it completely banned my account. Like no warnings, nothing. It was like your copy of Modern Warfare 2 is completely done. Like you cannot play it anymore. Completely invalidated.
How
it.
many games did it take for that to happen?
I don't know, maybe like a night or two. It didn't take long.
Damn.
I think someone has to initiate the report though. Like if someone reports you for it, then you know you're
You
kinda
were
screwed.
being careless with it, is what you're saying.
Well,
you
I
weren't
tried
trying
not
hide.
to. I tried not to like if I knew someone was like behind a wall, I'd be like looking around like I don't know they're there, and then like kind of turn, and then but it didn't.
You
work.
just probably got like a salty guy that didn't even like was just being salty that you killed him.
It worked for them. Yeah, you know what? That's probably
Possibly
exactly what happened.
But he was
That
just
dude
like,
don't even know you
fuck
got
report this
banned.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it worked for them though because I bought it again.
He's like, fuck on me. Fuck on you.
Fuck off.
I showed them.
You showed them by paying them more to get the game again.
I've bought Modern Warfare 2 3 times. I bought it.
I was gonna
Oh my
say,
God.
you know what would be even more fucked? Like, why I'm so hesitant to buy another copy of Grand Theft Auto 5 is because the copy that I have right now, the physical edition, is the second one. No. Whoa! I forgot about the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
It's the third time I've purchased this game because I remember
Oh
like
my God.
months and months ago, like I bought the complete edition of it, like where it has like shark cards and all that. For whatever, I just wanted to play it again, but I sold it years ago because it was still worth like $30-$40 when I
Yeah.
wanted, I don't know what I wanted. I sold it years ago, so I repurchased it again on disc, and then my disc drive broke. So now I'm just like, do I really want to buy this game a fourth
You
time?
might be able to get some money for it still, to be honest.
It's brand new.
They still sell it for $60. I think you
You know,
could.
That's what I'm saying.
might
You
be
still
able
might
to
be
still-
able to get some money for it if you trade it in.
I
That way
might.
you could just throw it towards
or
like the digital
we could just
version or
fix your
something.
disc drive for free.
Yeah.
Or you can just fix the disc drive.
Because I think
Or
we
you
could
just
do
get
it.
a
I mean, I know what you
PS5.
mean. Speaking of that, I've probably bought Resident Evil 4 like 3 or 4 times just
Mhm.
because it's been on so many systems.
Yeah.
That where I'm like, oh, I could play Resident Evil 4 again. Download it on the newest
MW2
system
I bought
I
full
have.
price. I bought it full price twice. The first one was on PC and then I got banned for it. And then I downloaded it again. It was only like $20 the second time I bought it. But then I bought it for the
Yeah.
360. Actually, holy shit, no, I bought it 4 times because I knocked over my Xbox and it scratched the disc. And I forgot that
Oh.
happened. I bought it used though, the second time. I was like, no. I'm not getting a new copy.
I'm even worse with like movies with that, man. Like I've had the VHS and then bought the DVD and then I bought the Blu-ray of the same damn movie.
Yeah,
Just to
'cause
fucking-
he gives me the one. He's like, here, I got this on.
I do, because I'm like, yo,
You
I bought
just
this
said
on Blu-ray.
that.
You want this?
You were
DVD?
just gonna do that to me with Friday the 13th.
Yeah, but I mean
Exactly.
that's Blu-ray still.
This is
I mean,
still
like
this is a
there's
Blu-ray
movies
disc.
I've had all the Jurassic Parks on VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray.
And then you gave them to me because you had
yeah,
the
like
DVDs.
Star Wars. Star Wars. I
You
bought
gave me
more
Jurassic
Blu-rays.
Park DVDs because Kylie
Yeah.
watches them.
Yeah,
I
Exactly.
appreciate it, man.
but those the Star Wars ones. Those are Blu-rays and DVDs.
Those are Blu-rays, yep. And
So I bought
DVDs.
that collection. But yeah, that's even worse because I want the next step. I'm like, because it matters, bro. I know people bitch, but Blu-ray is literally the clearest and like the best sound you're gonna get out of
Yeah.
a movie. It looks phenomenal, even compared to a DVD.
Well, yeah,
Right.
I mean, there's just
It
so
looks
much more they can
amazing.
hold on it.
Yeah, so I mean, it's worth upgrading in my opinion. Like,
If
I
you're
don't
gonna
think it's
watch
worth
it.
spending the. Yeah, I don't think it's worth. I would wait if you're gonna buy them. So I don't think it's worth paying $30 or $20 for a damn Blu-ray. That's ridiculous. Unless it's like a steelbook, which is like collector's edition,
Yeah.
which I guess that I can warrant. But they'd be selling like new Blu-rays for like $20, $25, which is like that's too much for me at least. I don't really buy new movies though.
Yeah, you guys seem to be more of the box set kind of. And if it's a
Box
single
set, or
movie,
else
a
I just
steelbook.
buy like steelbook or just like an older movie that's been out a little while on
Mm.
Blu-ray. That's pretty cheap.
Man, I can't even watch them Star Wars movies. I just realized that.
I didn't think
God
about it like that.
damn it.
Once you get a PS5, you can.
Exactly.
you
That's why I'm
figure-
keeping all these discs.
I'm gonna figure
I
out how to
still
fix
have
this
the-
one day, Vernon. And I'll get yours fixed too.
This
'Cause
is
you
a
probably got the
game-
same problem I do.
It probably does.
This
to be
is
honest.
a game I still want to play. But
Vernon,
I
when
really
you-
didn't get to play much.
When you go to
The
put your
Crew
disc
2?
in,
The Crew and The Last of Us 2.
That's downloaded. I could play that whenever, to be honest
Oh.
with you. I've just been
And,
lazy. I haven't had time to play video games, period.
Ghost of
Yeah.
Tsushima.
Yes. I need that.
These are games I'd
That
want to
game is
play. I just do
phenomenal.
not have the time to commit to it.
Phenomenal.
Oh.
You'll be able
Oh.
to catch up on them in like 16 years, Evan.
I'll be able to catch up on them in like 2 weeks when they shut everything down.
Whenever your kids are grown up and possibly getting out of the house, you'll be able to sit down and play some video games.
I'll
The Last of
finally
Us
be
1
able to
and
play
2.
the first Last of
Yeah.
Us when I'm like
You'll be
40.
like, Brittany, this is what I've been waiting for like 18 years. And you
then
like
he's
just
gonna be
kick
like-
back and you're just gaming, bro.
Then he's gonna be like,
And- You're gonna have off one weekend and like Brittany and you were just like, you're fine. You're just like, she's doing her thing and you're just gaming all day. And you're just like, this is amazing.
I will be. I will be, dude. I
I take
thought
that
about
shit for
this
granted.
yesterday at work. Like when I was in right after I graduated high school, because me and Brittany didn't live together until like 6 months before we got married. So I'm thinking, what the hell did I do with any of my time? Like I feel like I did nothing. Like I don't know what I did. I feel like I didn't play enough games. I could have read a book. I don't know. I feel like I don't have any time now, and I'm like, what did I do? Like it took me like an hour to make supper most nights. I'm like, why? I should just microwave something. Did something more productive. But that's whatever.
I mean, that's what I would do though. Like literally, like I mean, obviously now we have the podcast and we got other stuff going on, but I mean, before it was just like work, come home and game.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just game on whatever
That's
I'm
what I
playing.
did.
Like that's
But,
what
like,
I've been doing. That's usually what
I played
would
the
do.
wrong games.
Oh.
I would play like RuneScape and stuff.
Oh, I mean, hey man, you in what
I had
you're
fun,
into what you're into at the time. Yeah.
but
You're playing whatever you
I played
enjoy.
a lot of Destiny too. I played a lot.
Yeah,
and
we
Modern
did play a
Warfare
lot.
too.
We played a lot of
I
Destiny,
did
bro.
play a lot of Destiny. Man,
I know we shit on Destiny. I don't know how much we shitted on Destiny on the podcast over the weeks, but like even though we shit on it, there's some love for Destiny.
dude, the
Deep
original
down.
Destiny has so many good memories. Because they
Yeah.
pop up on my Facebook feed a lot, like some of the moments we had. Like
We
every
post
year when they
video.
come up, I'm like, oh man, I love this game. But now it's just,
It was a good game.
it's just a memory.
Who knows? Maybe we'll get a next gen Destiny 3 or a new IP.
I am going to be so skeptical of a new Destiny.
I saw they released a trailer for a next gen Madden today, Vern. I didn't watch it yet to see if it was any
Really?
different. Yeah, I didn't watch it yet or not.
Is that how they're going to
I
play
did
the
see
Pro
that
Bowl
they released.
on PlayStation 5?
I don't think it had anything to do with the Pro Bowl.
I know.
I just saw it was like it said next gen Madden.
I just think
Let
that's
me see if I
crazy.
can find.
Like instead of risking like all those other players and everything like getting together from different areas, they're just like, you know what? Just do it on Madden.
Yeah, there's like a Madden 21 official PS5 and Xbox Series X trailer.
Cool.
I don't know how different it is compared to like what it looks like now or last
Yeah.
year or the year. But I know the 2K one looks insanely like better. Like not
It
just the
does.
sweat like we've
It
made
looks
fun
like-
of before.
Real fucking life, bro. It's
It
crazy.
does.
How's that sweat?
This next gen graphics are crazy. I don't know if you watched any. I know we talk about PS5 all the time and next gen recently, but I don't know if you've seen any of the videos now that has been out about the feedback
Oh my
triggers.
god,
Like
bro! Seeing
It's
the dude
wild.
shoot a gun and it's like da 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 da, da, giving him feedback on the gunshots. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
god, I need this. I need
It's
this
like-
shit.
and then like different weapons like have different like triggers.
Yeah.
Like if it's like a
Exactly.
bazooka or like a sniper or something, it's going to be heavier to pull the trigger.
Oh, that's
on
crazy.
it. And like that is crazy. And like a pistol, like a smaller pistol, you're just like pop, 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 and it's like pushing your finger back each time,
Right.
type shit. Like that's wild.
I feel like the first time
I'm
I
excited.
experience it, I'm gonna be like, whoa, like, what's going on
Yeah.
back here?
They said that is like other than like a lot of the graphics and
Mhm.
a lot of the amazing visuals. They said the controller is like one of the most next gen things about the PS5
That's what
and
I've
like
heard
the
that
next
too.
generation. And that's really exciting, man, because like I know we've played like PS3 or like 360 and PS4 and stuff, but like they've had their differences, but there hasn't been a major overhaul to the actual like controller and like accessories.
Other than the
I mean, I guess they
PlayStation-
have the touchpad,
Yeah,
but I mean, like
that's a gimmick.
that trigger stuff, the haptic feedback is another level.
Like that touchpad, I haven't really had much use of it in a game other than like it's my map button. Like that's really all it ends up being.
A lot of people don't really utilize it, and that's what a lot of people are kind of skeptical about with the haptic feedback on the triggers. Is like it's up to the developers whether they want to utilize it or not. So it's just a matter of who's going to use it.
Yeah, like when I use the touchpad, like whenever the text brings up on the PlayStation 4, I just feel like it's so inaccurate because it's so small. I'd rather just hit the arrow buttons to type things in. Like I feel like whenever I use the touchpad, I don't.
Really? I think it's faster to use the touchpad.
I can't. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not used to it. But
You guys ever tilt the controller for the?
No, I haven't.
That shit's dope.
I didn't know you could
like,
do
sit there
that.
and tilt the controller
To
and
type?
hit X to type.
I have not tried that.
I've
no.
never
PS4
tried
controller. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm like,
Yeah, I've only used the touchpad.
Vern's
to
like,
do
you
it.
guys are clicking like
He's like,
losers.
you're not even on my level.
Vernon's in there typing a PlayStation message like,
oh, I'm so pissed. Just
stupid kid.
1v1 me, buddy.
All right. I think this is a good spot to end it up here.
Yeah, man.
But yeah,
I know I plugged a lot of the stuff earlier, so I mean, I'm not gonna really plug it again.
gonna
Just follow
replug it.
Squad Pod Sports.
Like, subscribe.
Follow and
Squad
like and
Pod Sports
subscribe.
Thursdays. Squad Pod Friday. Squad Pod Sports on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch coming soon. Big Money Nation on Instagram. Tap that on YouTube. That's it.
New layout coming next week, and this week, like new layout this week and next.
Yeah,
from here
new
on
layout
out, so.
for this episode. Hopefully, Squad Pod Sports will have theirs ready to go. New intros with the new logo and everything. That should all be done. You should have already seen all that. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
you're welcome. All right.
Yeah. So have a good week, everybody.
Peace.
Later.
Bye.